Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now stand by if you're watching us on Freeview, because we're about to join ITV now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E. Here Wednesday night, standing in for Shaylee, who will be with you tomorrow night instead with Simpler Law. Ladies and gentlemen, stop right now, thank you very much. May I just indulge you for a moment of your time? Because, you know, there are millions of people on this planet who know a secret that the rest of the planet does not know. And that secret is how to get a really good night's sleep. I mean, the best sleep you potentially can. And that's the secret we're going to share with you tonight. But do you know something else? Have you got a duvet or a pillow that is either filled with synthetic fibre or any kind of feather, even if it's a fancy down pillow? Well, if the answer to that question is yes, and it could be other things too, but those predominantly, if the answer is yes, I can assure you, you've never had, if that's all you've ever slept on, you've never had as good a night's sleep as you can. A full, deep, restful, restorative, recuperative night's sleep. And after tonight, you will. So if you can give us maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour of your time, we will prove to you that this is how to improve, we think, the quality of your sleep. We are talking about bedding, and I know it's not a particularly glamorous subject, specifically duvets and pillows, and also pillowcases. Now, what's special about these? And these are very special and very different to other things on the market. They contain silk, and the highest quality silk that money can buy. AAA grade mulberry silk. Doesn't matter how much money you got, you can't buy better. And that's what's in these duvets. These are full-length fibres, so the entire cocoon, of which there are several thousand in each duvet, full-length, unbroken, over a mile long. And we're talking thousands of them, literally thousands of individual fibres woven into strands, and there's about 15 miles of these strands in a king-size duvet. But why? So why is silk important? Very quickly, it has natural temperature regulating properties. Look, it's there to protect a silkworm. So it will keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. But also, it never overheats. There's no tog rating. There's no throwing the duvet off when you get too hot, pulling the duvet back on, which interrupts your sleep. With silk, you reach the ideal temperature no matter who you are, and even if someone sleeps next to you, you will both reach the ideal temperature, and that is where it is maintained all throughout the time you're under the duvet. I'm saving a fortune at the moment. I haven't turned the central heating on in my house, in the crew house. Well, actually, no, it's on for everybody else, but all the radiators are turned off at the actual source in my room, and I freeze my whatsits off when I get out of bed to go to the toilet because it's cold. But when I'm under my Mulberry Silk Duvet, I am beautifully toasty warm. Also, silk wicks away up to 30% of its weight in moisture, so it helps to keep you dry when you sweat at night. These are the only duvets currently on sale in the UK that we're aware of that carry the Allergy UK seal of approval, certifying that they are effective against live dust mites. Dust mites do not like to live in silk. You've got Egyptian cotton covers on the outside, 230 thread count, and that's long-fibre cotton as well. Also, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, they carry a 10-year guarantee. 10 years for a duvet. But historically and anecdotally, people have owned these duvets for 20, 30 years. I mean, this could be the last duvet, and indeed the last pillow, you ever buy. The pillows have a 2-year guarantee, but all these products are covered by an absolutely cast iron, unconditional money-back guarantee. You're not going to buy now. You're just going to decide to try now. And then when you're happy, you can sleep for many, many years in comfort. And if you're, for any reason, not happy, which is unlikely, you will get your money back. We're going to get into all of this. We've got a brand new stock. A new container has just come over and landed, and we have everything available. Single, double, king and super king. Now, these prices are amazing. They're the same prices that we've offered these for or what these were offered for 20 years ago. Now, yeah, they're a bit pricier than a cheap old thing you buy from the the department store, but these can last you the rest of your adult life. Buy them for your kids. Your kids could be well into their middle age before they even need to think about changing their duvet. And there are even ways to prolong the life of them as well, which we'll cover in the show. 139 for the single, 179 for the double, 199 for the king, and 219 for the super king. If they only lasted 10 years and then just vanished after that, you're looking at 4 pence a day for the single, 5 for the double, 6 pence a day for the king, and 7 pence a day for the super king. To enjoy the best night's sleep that you possibly can if all of the other variables are in your favour. And again, this is also something we will cover throughout the course of the show. There's a pun, isn't there? If you've got any questions, please ask. Please stay tuned, because we will prove to you conclusively that you spend a third of your life, up to, or even beyond, a third of your life in bed. Let's make it count. Let's make it good, because the way you sleep informs your mood and your general demeanour throughout the rest of your waking hours, right? So sleep is important. If you've ever woken up and gone, oh, I slept funny last night. No, you didn't. You just didn't have the right duvet and pillow and possibly mattress and possibly some other things too, which we'll cover. But here to help me cover everything and help me cover you with these duvets, is the one and only, the man who's been in business for over 65 years. He is RK Sales is his company, the exclusive distributor of Mulberry Silk products in the United Kingdom and all around Europe as well. Ray Kennedy.
Hi, good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Ray. I thought I'd do a little summary so everybody now knows what we're talking about.
I think you summed it up beautifully.
Thank you.
And I think it was most important at the beginning of the show, 2 things you mentioned. The guarantee, you used the correct phrase, cast iron.
Yes.
If anybody buys anything this morning, when you try it, if you don't like it, Shop and TV guarantee you your money back, and we guarantee you your money back. No arguing, no fighting on the telephone, instant refund. So please put your mind at ease in that score. And the second thing, which Rob, I thought, mentioned, and important to mention, value for money. We are offering our duvets this morning at a price which is just slightly less than we were charging for them when we first launched them in TV 21 or 22 years ago, just slightly less. The quality hasn't dropped, but the price has. So value for money, second to none.
I want to say also, these are from the official Mulberry Silk Manufacturing Company Limited. Please accept no substitutions. There are lots and lots of knockoffs out there. We're going to cover that. When you buy, this is the only place you can buy these genuine Mulberry Silk products. So when you buy them from us, you're also buying from, we're the official company. The official company.
Our head office is in Vancouver. We export, when we started off 36, 37 years ago, we were a tiny little office in a back street in Vancouver, starting off. And now we export to 35, 36 countries throughout the world. And whichever country we sell in, the public love our products. And the reason for that, in my opinion, Rob, is one simple word: quality.
Yep.
At the end of the day,
what you pay for.
Nothing beats quality.
Right.
There's so many cheap and nasty and horrible duvets and pillows available. People buy them and they wish they hadn't bothered. When you buy this duvet, please think of it as an investment. You won't have to replace it in 4, 5, 6, 7 years' time. We estimate the life of this duvet, well, it will probably last you the best part of your adult life. The duvets we have in my bed at home are 37 years old. Yeah. And they're washable, of course.
That's the one thing I forgot to mention. I was just going, oh, blast, I forgot to say. You can machine wash them in a standard 7.5 kilogram front-loading wash.
The largest one we make is a Super King. It weighs 2.5 kilos.
That's the size.
That's less than 2 small bags of sugar.
Yeah.
It will fit in any standard UK machine. You wash it a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. Once or twice a year, on a warm, sunny day, if you're lucky enough to have a garden, drop it over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun totally purify and cleanse it. Yeah. It won't retain body odors. It's beautiful to sleep under. That lovely feeling you get, Rob, when you slip into a freshly laundered bed, and you're tired, and you slip into bed and you lie back. And
I remember that.
And you think, to
a while.
yourself, oh, this is beautiful. That's the feeling you get every single night sleeping under silk. You don't sweat under it.
Nope.
It wicks away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So any lady going through the menopause, don't think twice, buy yourself one. Take it, try it. And if you don't like it, and that's virtually impossible, you simply send it back.
Yeah.
And you get an instant refund. Simple as that. If you share a bed with a partner who overheats, and that very often happens, very often one person likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm. Well, you can both sleep under silk. It self-reflects. You get the same two people sleeping in the same bed under one duvet. They get the perfect body temperature. No dust mites in silk, allergy board approved. We have the certificate here to show you.
Which we will show you in a moment. I'll give it to you in a second, Ray, actually. We're going to be joining STV shortly. I just want to say, when you buy a duvet or when you buy pillows from a department store, really a bedding shop, really anyway, what a lot of the time, I believe, those products are designed to do is to part you from your money. Because the minute you open that, you take them out of the shop, and the minute you've taken them out of the packaging, you can't return them. Because they just won't take them back. No one will receive a return on a used pillow or duvet, right?
No.
Whereas we will. That's how certain we are. That's how certain.
Well, the viewers obviously can work this out for themselves. When you sell any product with a money-back guarantee, it's important to make sure, if you want to stay in business, right, it's important to make sure that you don't get any sent back, or as few as possible sent back. Because Rob's correct. If you buy a pillow, say from a supermarket, try and take it back. This is what they'll tell you.
Yes.
Under the Health and Hygiene Act, we cannot take it back. Charity won't take them. You can't take them to a charity. They say, no, no, thank you. Salvation Army won't take them. No, thank you. They won't give them to homeless people. They say, take them to a cat and dog home, and they'll make dog beds from them. And that's exactly what they say. Yeah. So it's in our interest to manufacture the product to the highest possible standards to make sure we get as few as possible sent back. And later on, I'll tell you the actual figures of how many we do get sent back, and I promise it will shock you.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out here that if you go online and you search for Mulberry Silk duvets or pillows, be really careful, because for reasons that escape me, there are laws in this land that allow somebody to say it's a Mulberry Silk duvet or it's a Mulberry Silk pillow if there is only a small percentage of silk in the actual product. The rest could be either cheap silk or inferior silk, or it could be polyester. I mean, it could be anything, to be honest. In these duvets, they are 100% pure AAA grade. There are different grades of silk as well. This is the top grade in the world. Full fibre. Look, very quickly, look, this is a cocoon. So in there used to live a little silkworm. And if you, that's put in water until it unravels into an individual fibre, very fine fibres. And then several of those are woven together to make them into a strand. And there's about 15 miles of those strands, unbroken, one unbroken full-length piece of silk. And there's even a little vanity window in your duvet that will allow you to look at that and see it for yourself. So, Ro, we're just about to join STV. So,
right.
We'll get into Scotland and then we'll carry on. I want you to understand, as far as I know, there isn't any other duvet or pillow out there of this quality that I've found online. And even if you spend hundreds of pounds, it still can be inferior quality compared to this. Stay right where you are, ladies and gentlemen. STV about to join. More in a moment. A very big welcome to everybody in STV land in Scotland. How are you doing? This is Mulberry Silk tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Only, we believe, the finest duvets and pillows and pillowcases and even mattresses that money can buy. Chock full of the finest silk that money can buy. 10-year guarantee on the duvets, 2-year guarantee on the pillows, money-back guarantee on everything. You can wash them in a regular machine as often as you like, covered by the Allergy UK certificate of approval, certifying them to be effective against live dust mites. Dust mites do not like to live in silk. I haven't got one, but you know, if you've got a regular synthetic pillow and you've had it for a while, if you lift it up and it flops, that extra weight that's making it flop is dead dust mites, live dust mites actually as well, their poo, and also the carcasses of their former dead relatives. You don't get that in this. It's also it's perfectly proportioned, I found. For me, I've got, what did I work out? 8 of these pillows. I've got 4 duvets, and I've got 3 mattresses now. Just got another one. This is the pillow you want. Those are the duvets you want. If you're buying a duvet, you've got to get the pillows. My friends, my family, every single member of the crew here has Mulberry Silk everything. All the tags have all the contact information of RK Sales, the company that if you do, for any reason, decide that you wish to use your money-back guarantee and return it, you know, it's a 30-day basically, but they'll take care of you for the rest of your life, basically. You're a customer for life, not just for Christmas kind of thing. So what I wanted to also just say for our ITV viewers who were watching before, and I say it to our STV viewers and Freeview viewers as well, if you're not sure about the duvet or the duvet's out of your budget at the moment because you're just so skeptical, even though I'm telling you, if you trust me at all, if you know me at all, that's the duvet you have to have. Honestly, get one without hesitation. You will thank me for the rest of your lives you did. Same also with the pillows. But if you're still not sure, consider this a gateway product. Get yourself a pillow, try it, go, oh my God, Rob was right, and then you'll be back the next show, which happens every single time, buying more. By the way, I have a nice empty iPad here. If you've got any questions, send us please, studio@shopontv.co.uk. Feel free to email me and Ray. But also, if you are part of the Mulberry Silk contingent, the movement, if you've been converted, and I want you to be honest, if I say anything tonight that is not true, you put it on an email and I'll read it out, because it's not going to happen. I would love if you'd share the wealth, pay it forward, as they say, to all the customers, the new customers watching tonight who haven't experienced Mulberry Silk yet, and let's know your experiences about how you got on. Please, if you can just take a moment to send us a little message, I would appreciate it, Ray would appreciate it, and I know that the new customers will appreciate it too. Right, Ray, okay, I want to shut up now because...
Okay.
I don't want to, but I will if I have to.
Okay.
I said to the ITV viewers, I said that give us 20 minutes, give us your huddled masses and all that, 20 minutes to prove why this bedding is essential to own. We've got the pillow details on at the moment. Can you look into their eyes and prove to them now why they must buy these immediately?
Well, I can do my best to prove to the viewers. Why should you buy Mulberry Silk or a silk duvet? Well, basically, my experience is simple. We exhibit at live exhibitions throughout the country for the last 67 years. And for 37 of those years, we've been selling silk duvets. Now, because we are at live exhibitions, we can talk directly to the public, day in, day out, directly to the public. So we have a fair idea of the likes and the dislikes of bedding as far as the public are concerned. Now, the problem that 9 out of 10 people have in bed trying to get a good night's sleep, they all have the same problem. 9 out of 10, they get too hot in bed. Not too cold, too hot. I would say 10% of all the people I speak to at a live presentation love the duvet they have in the bed. They don't want my duvet. The other 90%, they do want it, because this duvet does the opposite. It keeps you temperature regulated in bed. You don't get too hot and you don't get too cold. When people see a silk duvet for the first time, they get an awful shock because it's very, very thin. And people say to me, you know, this is very thin. Are you sure this will keep me warm in the winter? And before I can answer, they then say, what TOG rating is it? Now, the answer to both of those questions is quite simple. There is no official TOG rating with silk. The reason being, silk is a low conductor of heat. It retains heat in a different fashion to, say, duck, goose feather, or polyester, or man-made fibers. And you'll find there is no TOG rating of any description with silk. Warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And people say, well, hold on, how is that possible? How can it reverse? Well, the honest answer is nobody knows. Only one person, Mother Nature. She's had the secret under lock and key for 5,000 years. But most people know silk has the amazing ability to keep you really warm in the winter and cool in the summer. It'll wick away moisture. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So any lady going through the menopause, this is the duvet for you. And if you share a bed with a partner who overheats and sweats, this is the duvet for you.
Or is cold with more circulation.
Yes. It's as simple as that.
Doesn't matter what temperature you are.
The other point to be taken, Rob,
right.
It is machine washable, which is so important. Wash at a cold wash, 30 degrees, tumble dry or line dry. It is Allergy Board approved. It's the only silk duvet currently being sold anywhere in Europe that has the coveted Allergy Board certificate. Dust mites do not like silk. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, I'm making no ridiculous claims, but surely common sense will tell you, if you have allergies, asthma, hay fever, COPD, sleeping under a duvet that's free of dead dust mites, surely you're walking in the right direction. That's what the Allergy Board are recommending, this duvet.
So we have lots of questions coming in. Look, I'm going to cover. Sorry, pardon the pun. All the sort of well, I'll just tell you now. Standard UK sizes. If you want to put a duvet on here, you can. A duvet cover. If you want to put a pillowcase on, fine. I just caveat. These are two of the finest natural fibres known to man. If you put polyester or a man-made fibre on these, they're going to stop them from working. It would be like putting a steel plate on top of a non-stick pan, putting your chicken breast on top of that and expecting the non-stick to work. It won't. It's not in contact with the meat, right? Or whatever you're cooking. Same principle with this. So just what I recommend every time, Dunelm do. I was in Dunelm the other day, and other stores like that. Probably Dreams do as well. Actually, I don't know if Dreams do bedding, but anyway, covers and things. But Amazon, I went to Amazon and got Egyptian cotton, 300 thread count. I got a pillowcase and duvet cover set for my super king size and my king size beds, and it was about 30 quid. You can get cheaper, and you can get higher thread count and spend a bit more. They're not expensive, and fitted sheets also. Only ever use 100% natural fibres. Cotton is recommended if you can get long fibre Egyptian cotton, which you can easily. I'd recommend that. Also, if you're going to put mattress protectors on, if you buy a Mulberry Silk mattress, same thing. If you can put pillow protectors on the pillows too. I do in the crew house here in Warrington. But again, 100% pure Egyptian cotton, no plastics, no other, hollow fibres and such. So Kaz, hi Kaz, how are you? Says, I have the pillows. I've recently received the duvets for me and my son. Congratulations. Welcome to the family, Kaz. Up to now, I love it. I'm saving for the mattress. You'll love that as well. I've got three of them now. I have one question. What is the material on the corners for? I thought of using them for creating loops and putting buttons in the duvet corner covers to hold it in place. Well, some duvet covers have buttons in the corners for that very reason. Yes, you can.
We're just bringing those shortly.
Yeah, but also they can help you sort of get the duvet in and out.
And you can tie it to a loop.
Yeah.
And the other thing I should mention to Kaz and to the viewers, talking about the covers on the duvet, the quality of the cotton on the duvet is so high.
Yes.
An awful lot of people don't bother with a cover.
You don't need one. Yeah.
When I'm doing a live presentation, Rob, this is a fact. Yeah. People come up to the stand, they touch it, and these are experienced house builders, and honestly, you can see the shock in people's face. They touch it, and immediately they think, whoa, this is different, this is special. This is top quality cotton. Yeah. 230 thread counts.
It is. In America, they call it a comforter.
Comforter, yes.
But it depends. So, for example, at home, my decor, I have grey, and in the crew house, I've got nice sort of charcoal grey. So, if you want to change the colour of the duvet and have it match your pillows, by the way, the pillowcases are 100% pure silk, both sides, We'll talk, the white's about to sell out actually. So we've got white, we've got Arctic, desert and sage. And they are, as I say, 100% pure mulberry silk, AAA grade mulberry silk front and back. Their duvet covers are coming. They won't be silk because you don't want a silk duvet cover. You'll slip out of bed. But they are Egyptian cotton and they are coming in the same colours soon.
320 thread count.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick? Let me talk to Fraser, my producer. Should we do a quick tickle on the pillowcases? Yeah. Do you have a pillowcase there?
I do, yes.
Would you like to tell everybody?
Well,
in a moment, or now even actually.
Rob, these pillowcases. You know, when I'm doing a live presentation, people come up to me and they say, you know, I've read about these pillowcases. They stop your wrinkling, don't they? Well, unfortunately, Rob, nothing will stop your wrinkling. Eventually, your skin will lose its elasticity and you will wrinkle. But what you can do, you can slow the wrinkling process down dramatically. And silk does that in no uncertain fashion. Now, when you're buying silk pillowcases, can I just give you a little word of warning? Be very, very careful where you buy them and how you buy them.
Yeah.
Read the label, and in particular, the small print on the label.
Sorry, Ray, got to interrupt. White has just sold out.
Okay, that's...
Did I just see these have got a 10-year guarantee?
Yeah.
10-year guarantee on a flipping pillowcase?
Yes, it's wonderful. Now,
sorry, Sam, I need you.
white sold out. That's amazing so quickly.
If I do that more, my cables are going to come out. You'll have to come round a bit closer. Sorry, mate. Excuse us.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And as I was saying,
Continue.
So in silk, you have 18 amino acids. Now, one of them, a very important one, is called sericin.
Yep.
And you spell that S-E-R-I-C-I-N. And I would advise any viewer, for their own peace of mind, to check what I'm going to say next on, say, Google or Wikipedia. Type in all about silk. And they will tell you that sericin is wonderful. It keeps your skin hydrated. Now, if you sleep on a cotton pillowcase, and this is not ridiculous sales talk, it's a fact, cotton will take the moisture from your skin as you sleep and cause your skin to dry, and that's when it wrinkles, or it starts the wrinkling process when it's dry. Now, sericin traps the moisture within your skin and keeps your skin hydrated, so it takes longer for your skin to wrinkle. Now, ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. If he or she is knowledgeable, Rob, they will tell you there is no static in silk, so it cuts frizz. And if you have long hair in particular, I have 4 granddaughters. They're all between 13 and 19 years of age. They have hair, seems to be fashionable, right down to the nape of their back, to their backside almost. And they have to tie their hair up at night normally, while people with long hair like that. But if you sleep on silk, you don't. It stops your hair tangling.
Afro-Caribbean ladies.
No, well, that's interesting you mention that. Anybody, if you're a lady or a gentleman of colour, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-American, or just a person of colour, you have particular problems with your hair, and I'll tell you why that is. When your hair starts to grow, the shaft of your hair from your scalp is wide.
Yeah.
As it grows, it narrows, and as it continues to grow, it comes to a point where it twists and it kinks, and it's like a garden hose when water's flowing through it. If you bend it and stop it like that, the water cannot flow any further than where the kink is. And it's the same in a person of colour's hair. The nutrients, once the kink occurs, the nutrients from the scalp cannot get beyond the kink. And the hair that continues to grow beyond that becomes brittle, it breaks, and that's the problem. Now, silk will help you in no uncertain fashion. You'll find people who go to hairdressers who specialize in hairdressing for colored people, for people of color, you'll find they very often tell them to sleep with a silk bonnet on or sleep in a silk pillowcase because it's so beneficial for the hair. Now, the interesting thing about these pillowcases, right, they have silk in both sides. Now, the reason I mention that, recently this has been happening quite a lot. When I've been doing a live presentation, people have been coming up to me and they say, you know, I bought some pillowcases on the internet And when they were delivered, they only had silk in one side.
Yeah.
Now, be careful. These are made by the official Mulberry Silk Company. Read the label when you buy them. They are 100% AAA grade mulberry silk, long fibre, the best you can get. We estimate this will last you the best part of your adult life.
Pillowcase.
A pillowcase,
Your
we're
adult
guaranteed
life.
for 10 years. Now, here's the other thing,
God.
Rob, you must remember. When you wash it, this is very important. The sericin, the all-important sericin within the pillowcase never washes out.
Wash out.
And the final thing I'll mention, and this is why we sell so many of these pillowcases, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct, no other company have gone to the trouble of doing this. There's a saying that's known the whole world over, in any country, smooth as silk.
Smooth
It's
silk.
important to keep silk smooth. Now, when you open this pillowcase up, on the inside, what we've done, we've sprayed on a fine layer of cotton. Now, compared to silk, cotton is coarse. And the cotton, when you put the pillow into the pillowcase, the cotton grips the pillowcase and keeps it smooth as silk. So when you're waking up in the morning, you get no tram lines on your face.
Right.
It's just a little extra that, you know, we pay attention to detail and we try our best to make a product that's better than you can get elsewhere.
We haven't covered yet, and I'm sorry, we've kind of, ITV viewers, we have gone a bit past our 20 minutes, but if you can keep watching for a bit more. And if you've got any questions that you want to ask before you buy a duvet, a pillow, a pillowcase, then feel free. Just, in fact, actually, people have done that. And Patrick says, hi, Patrick, first of all, how are you? My wife loves a nice bedroom decor. Can these products be used with standard quality duvet and pillow? Yes, absolutely, yes. Now, obviously, if you're not going for silk, Egyptian cotton is the next best thing, right? Just as I said earlier, make sure it is Egyptian cotton or just regular cotton. It has to be a natural fibre. If you put polyester or something, you know, else that's man-made onto the duvet or the pillow, you're blocking the benefits of the silk, which again, natural temperature regulation, moisture and sweat wicking, 30% of their weight in moisture they can wick away to help keep you dry. And bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we can lose about a pint of liquid every night into our beds. And when you sweat into a synthetic duvet or pillow or a feather duvet and pillow, and you've got that combined with heat, to which there is no limit, which is why you end up throwing them off or waking up with a sweaty hot head and turning the pillow over. What is that a recipe for? It becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. The regular hollow fibre and feather pillows and duvets fester. And also they become a sanctuary for dust mites. And, you know, in 3 years, they reckon up to half of the weight of your duvet or pillow is dust mites, dead dust mites, dust mite poo, and who knows what other kinds of bacteria as well. They're not particularly sanitary, but with the mulberry silk, you don't get it. It's like us living in the Sahara Desert. It's too dry for them. We might go in for the day, but we leave very, very quickly. And you can put these into a regular washing machine. In the front there is a Super King duvet. That will fit in one side of a carry-on suitcase, and the pillow will fit in the other. If you're going away or you're a road warrior, you can have a case just for your bedding. And but that will keep you perfectly warm, not too hot, not too cold, just right. Self-regulating. So it doesn't matter what your natural body is. If you run cold, if you run hot, it doesn't matter. The duvet will adjust to your ideal temperature. I always tell this story, and I apologise. So by the way, Patrick, I hope that answered your question. So I first met Ray 5 years ago, we think now, maybe a bit longer, and it was just prior to lockdown. No, it was during lockdown, of course.
The pandemic, yeah.
That's right. And during the pandemic, and the hotels and motels had been closed to anyone unless you're a key worker. So our CEO at the studios where we were working in Peterborough put several of these what were called bunker bins. They were sort of personal porta cabins in the car park for us to sleep there. So I'd literally wake up in the car park and walk to work. It was lovely. It was like being in solitary confinement for months and months on end. I went a bit strange, if I'm being honest. Sorry, still am. So, but I did a show with Ray. And I'm like, Ray, I'm freezing my whatsits off in this bunker bin because, you know, the heating doesn't work very well. It was -7 degrees outside. So he gave me a single duvet, which I later purchased from him. And I went into my freezing cold ice box of a bunker bin, stripped down to my boxers, as I do. There's a nice image for you this evening. Hope you're not eating. And I covered myself and wrapped myself in this single duvet. And I did an experiment. I was like, let's see if this man's telling the truth, shall we? And I got up to the right temperature very quickly. And I'm like, oh, this is lovely. And I thought, I'm going to overheat. Yep, going to overheat. Must get a watch. Going to overheat. And I never did. And even, I mean, now, as I say, we have, all of the crew have these in their bedrooms. We have like an HMO where we all have a room, a little sort of studio. And again, all night long, windows open, freezing cold, because I like it cold around me, but I don't like to be cold, if that makes sense. No heating on, saving a fortune in heating, thank you very much. And I'm covered in my Mulberry Silk Duvet, and I'm the perfect temperature. You take the duvet off, blimey, it's cold! Put the duvet back on within seconds. And that single duvet, I've still got to this day, by the way. My son and I use it at our flat in London when we're watching telly in the winter. If it's cold, we cover ourselves with it, keeps us nice and warm. I think I turned the heating on 2 or 3 times in the whole of the last winter. So if you know people that suffer from cold, maybe can't afford to heat their homes, get them a Mulberry Silk Duvet. But also get yourself a Mulberry Silk Duvet, because for reasons we're going to continue to discover with Ray, they give you the optimum night's sleep. Because it's about combating toxic sleep. When you wake up in the night, that breaks your sleep pattern. You're not supposed to toss and turn, really. You're supposed to wake up in almost the same position you were when you went to sleep, with the covers also roughly in the same position. If you take the duvet off, pull it back on, you wake up. You don't get your full sleep cycle that is restorative, recuperative, regenerative, healing, etc. And so you wake up and you might have slept for 8 hours, but you feel rubbish because you haven't slept properly. This will help you sleep properly. I sleep deeply every single night. I'm under a Mulberry Silk Duvet and with my head on a pillow. By the way, if you do like a loftier pillow, you can double these up. I'd say that they're quite lofty. One is enough for most people, but you're going to probably, if you've got a double or a king or a super king bed, you're probably going to get a couple anyway. You can try one on top of the other. It may be too high for some. One is ideal, but for those that do like a little bit of extra oomph under their necks, then you can. And you can see they have really great support. They have a fibre cord just purely for support, and they're wrapped around the outside miles and miles and miles and miles, about 8 miles, isn't it, of AAA grade Mulberry Silk. Ray, by the way, the single duvet is about to sell out. We're single figures. If you want it, get it quickly. Ray, we haven't even covered yet, and I'm sorry, where does Mulberry Silk come from?
Right, I'll
and
explain.
how is it put into these products?
Right, well, how we get the mulberry silk, we take the silkworm, we place it...
Well, even before that, how do you get mulberry silk? What are they fed on?
Mulberry leaves.
But what kind... Okay. Could you expand?
We take the silkworm, we place it in a large metal tray, roughly the size... Go on, Rob. Roughly the size of this bed. We place the tray containing the worm into a darkened room.
Yes.
And we keep it there for 35, 36 days. And we feed the worm exclusively on mulberry leaves. Now, it will eat 10,000 times its own body weight in mulberry leaves. It doesn't sleep, it just eats constantly.
Sounds like someone I know.
For 35, 36 days.
Yeah.
Right? After 35, 36 days, it kicks the cocoon off. That's a cocoon there. It's on my finger. Right? Now we place that in tepid water, and all the silk floats off unbroken in one piece. Now, believe it or believe it not, on that little cocoon, there is at least 1 mile of silk. 1 mile. So on a duvet, or in a duvet, there will be 5,000 or 6,000 of these cocoons. So The little problem we have, right? There are 3 different colors of mulberry leaves, red, black, and white. Now, if you feed the worm and the red and black mulberry leaf, Rob, you get very high quality mulberry silk.
Yeah.
If, however, you feed the worm and the white mulberry leaf, you suddenly take a step up and you get the highest grade silk you can possibly get, AAA grade mulberry silk. That's all that we use, nothing else, AAA grade. Now, the tree that provides the white mulberry leaf only grows in any commercial quantity in central and eastern China. Now, we constantly run out.
Is it it's a seasonal thing?
Well, listen to what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We constantly run out
Yes.
of AAA grade mulberry silk. And if you watch the news this evening with the flooding in China, Hong Kong, it's horrific what's happened there. With this terrible weather, what's hit them.
The typhoon.
We estimate we're going to be really short of silk for the next 6 or 9 months.
Right.
So I would say to any viewer watching, right, if you're thinking of buying some silk duvets, move quickly because there's going to be a shortage of AAA grade.
We don't have a lot in stock as it is because there's also, you know, silkworms are seasonal. You know, their lives are cyclical. So when there aren't the worms, there aren't the leaves.
It's not like man-made fibers. We can plug a machine in, it will spit out more and more. So the point I'm making is this silk that we are using is the best quality. And if you doubt that, you know, just go into Google or Wikipedia, type in all about silk. Now remember, they're not trying to sell you anything. They're just answering questions.
Yes.
And they will tell you, word for word, this is what they say. Within the silk industry, mulberry silk is considered to be the king of silks, the best.
Can I just apologise? These shows are always extraordinarily busy. This is one of our top-selling items at Shop on TV. So we have queues on the telephones. We will obviously get to your call as soon as we possibly can. Please hold in there. If you can go online, do. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please check out your baskets. It is essential that you do so. We are already in a situation with the brand new stock, what we would consider to be a sizable stock. We are making serious dents. I don't know how long. I don't know if everything is going to last this show, is what I'm trying to say. So if you go to the live page and scroll down, you'll see the duvets, you'll see the pillows. We have cocoon mattresses. That's a mulberry silk mattress, basically sleeping on mulberry silk then as well. Again, I've got 3 of those. They are amazing. Medium firm support mattress. Someone asked about the firmness of the pillows. They're medium firm as well.
Medium firm.
Medium firm. I think they're just right.
What I would say to any viewer as far as the pillow is concerned, to get a pillow that you really like is very difficult. It really is very, very difficult.
Well, should we move on to the pillow? Tell us your story.
Well, can I just tell you with the pillow, you know, ladies and gentlemen, anybody watching and taking the trouble to watch, these figures I'm going to quote are not just made up figures, they're real. I check them constantly to make sure I'm not talking rubbish on television.
Right.
Every year in Britain, in the United Kingdom, 10 million pillows get thrown into landfill. Now, please think about that, 10 million. And the reason why they're thrown out, people buy them and they don't like them. And they simply throw them out. If you go into a supermarket and buy a pillow, once you've bought it, you've got a problem. It's yours for life. They won't take it back if you don't like it. They simply say, under the Health and Hygiene Act, we are not allowed to take it back. Charities won't take them. If you say, here, I don't like this, take it. They say, sorry, we're not allowed to. Health and Hygiene Act. Salvation Army won't take them back. What they say is simple. Take them to a cat and dog home. This is what they say. Take it to a cat and dog home, and they'll make dog beds from the old pillows. 10 million a year. Do you know, Rob, I was in a very large retailer of pillows.
I was just about to ask.
In Manchester, 15 miles from where I'm sitting, about 4 or 5 months ago. They had a mountain of pillows for sale. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 in a shelf. A mountain. £6 each. When I nearly dropped dead when I read the label. They were filled, believe it or believe it not, with recycled plastic bottles. Now just imagine a July evening, it's hot, it's humid, it's sticky. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're lying with your head on a pillow as you paid £6 for. It's filled with plastic bottles. That's the pillow you don't like that ends up in
But also,
landfill.
you don't just sleep on one, you sleep on 3 or 4 because
Now,
they're
here's
so
the other
thin
thing.
and useless.
This pillow is sold with a no-nonsense money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you're not married to it. You simply, one telephone call to our office, a live person will answer the telephone. You're not talking to a recording machine. And we will refund your money instantly. I judge the success of any product I sell in television, not on how many I sell, but how many we get returned.
Yeah.
Now, when we first started selling this pillow in television, 5 or 6 years ago, in the first 13 months, we sold 86,000 pillows. Now, the Bedding Association, and they're clever people, they're knowledgeable, they reckon if all pillows were sold with a money-back guarantee, they're not, but if they were, they reckon the percentage it could be returned could be as high as 60 or 65%. Now, we didn't get 65% returned. In 13 months, this is wonderful, you know, we got 19 individual pillows returned out of 86,000. Now, here's the reason why. This pillow is the one I sleep on at home. When I travel, I bring it with me, right? Because when I bring it with me, I know I'm going to put my head on it in the hotel at night and get a good night's sleep. It's nearly 6 years old. It's been slept on for at least 15,000 hours. It's been washed at least 20 to 25 times. You can wash it. Cold wash, 30 degrees. When you wash it, it cannot and it will not lose shape. The top cover is Egyptian cotton, 230 thread count. Anything over 180 is considered to be luxury. The filling within the top cover is AAA grade Mulberry silk. If you read the label, long fibre, each strand over a mile long. If you read the label, we tell you exactly what's in it. If you were to cut it open, in the middle, you have a little pocket of fibre. That's to give you support for your neck and your shoulders and your head. All the way around that, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 of these little cocoons. AAA grade Mulberry silk. Your head won't get hot on it. Dust mites don't like it. That's not me saying that. That's not Rob saying it. That's the United Kingdom Allergy Board saying it. Dust mites don't like it.
Yeah, hold it nice and still for us.
If you have any member of your family who suffers from allergies, treat them to at least one of these pillows. The final thing I'll say is this, ladies and gentlemen. You can only buy this pillow from 2 people, from myself or from Shop and TV. Now, Shop and TV buy them from me. I sell them on my website at £60 each and £5 postage. And to use a modern phrase, I'm not ripping people off, right? That is the true value of this pillow. You can get them from Shop and TV for £40 each. One pillow, £40.
How many pillows do people, do you reckon, you know, the rubbish pillows that
How many do they buy?
How many?
Well, again, this figure is from the Sleep Council, who know what they're talking about. A lady with a husband and a couple of children, the average family, they estimate in her lifetime she'll buy between 30 and 40 pillows, more like 40. You know, you're in the supermarket, we've all seen them, 2 for £10. They're in a nice plastic bag like this. There's a picture of a young girl, her hair's perfectly done. She's always sleeping like this. Her makeup is beautiful. She looks blissful. And you think, well, that looks okay. 2 for £10, and you buy them. And these are the pillows that end up in landfill.
Didn't you have that experience once?
Well,
in a shop?
Yes, Rob. My experience, what he's talking about here is quite funny, actually. I live in Scotland, in Glasgow. I live in a small village 6 miles from the centre of Glasgow. 1,700 people live in my village, right? So we know one another. And in the local supermarket, I was in doing a bit of shopping, and I was paying at the checkout, and the lady said to me, she said, I saw you on television last night. She said, tell me, are those pillows any good? I said, well, of course, they're really wonderful pillows. She said, well, could you bring me 2 in? And I burst out laughing. I said, well, you sell pillows in here, 2 for £10. She said, well, the staff know we mustn't buy them, they're rubbish. She said, people never stop complaining about them. But the point is, this is a large company. They're still selling them. Well, 10 million a year in landfill.
Ray?
This one, 19 out of 86,000, that's the difference.
You've proved a point that is my belief is there are 2 things. First of all, the companies that make those cheap pillows, they know they're rubbish, I think.
Yes.
Why do they sell them? They're not selling you those pillows so that you have a good night's sleep. They're selling you those pillows as an opportunity to take money from you that they know you can't get back.
On a regular basis.
On a regular basis. Because the minute you open that pillow, you cannot return it. The minute you open that duvet, you cannot return it. That money is trash in the cash. No, the other way around. Cash in the trash if for any reason you don't like it. And you won't. Crikey, when we first moved into the crew house about 4 months ago in Warrington, when we moved from London to Warrington, we went to a bedding shop and we had no choice because we hadn't got time to get Mulberry Silk Duvet straight away. And we bought some, I think the duvets were about £50 each. They were quite good synthetic duvets. Even sleeping next to it, I was getting too hot. I couldn't physically put it on me. Within minutes, I'm too hot, off it comes. And then I'm too cold, back it goes. And even, remember, these duvets, we'll come back to in a moment, they are all year round. In the summer, they'll help keep you cool as well. But I want to say something about this pillow. In the time that it takes you to replace your pillow over potentially the rest of your life, depending on your age, or well into your life or their lives if you're buying them for your kids, you will have spent substantially more money than £40 replacing bad after bad after bad after bad after bad. Synthetic pillows, feather pillows, as soon as you sweat into them, bacteria. Dust mites build up quickly. In 3 years, up to half of the weight can be dust mites, the carcasses of their dead relatives and the droppings of the live ones. And also, they smell. And you can't wash them because they just clump. You just throw them away. Very quickly over time, the sweating makes them get firmer and firmer and flatter, right? And what do? You throw them away, you go buy more. And then you just keep repeating the same thing. Look, they say the definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the results to be different.
That was Mark Twain, wasn't it?
Mark Twain, you're absolutely right. This has a 2-year guarantee, but I've had my original pillows, for 5 years, and so has my son. So there's 4 pillows right there on my son's bed and my home bed. I've got 2 in the house for myself, and I bought, last time you were here, Ray, I bought another 2, so I've got 8 of these pillows. Sorry, just one sec, Ray. If you trust me even but a little bit, do yourselves a favour and get these. You're going to save money in the long run. You're going to be more comfortable. You're not going to be as hot. You're not going to be as sweaty. But you must buy them quickly. We're running out of these, and we don't know when we're necessarily going to get them.
I'm going to let the cat out the bag here.
Yeah.
As you know from the many shows we have done together now over the years, I go to different countries selling silk, and I go into different TV studios. And what actually happens every time I go in, right, after a couple of weeks, maybe a month, one of the presenters will buy, say, a pillow or 2 pillows. Yeah. Right? And they'll take it and they'll sleep on it within their home. And then they'll tell another presenter, they'll say, this is wonderful. And within 6 months, every single studio I go to, the presenters, all of them end up buying Mulberry Silk. When I came down here tonight, I bought a duvet and 2 pillows for one of the crew members here. Last week, Rob bought another mattress. The man who owns this company, when we came here 15 months ago, 16 months ago, within 1 week, bought 2 mattresses, 4 pillows, and 2 duvets. He owns the company.
Do you know what? I'm just trying to work this. About 20% of the stock has already...
Well, that's wonderful. That's an awful lot of stuff.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm being it's now it's a third of the stock. I'm just looking at any camera at the moment,
And
just grappling for it. Oh, yeah. We've been on the air an hour.
Less
I'm
than
sorry.
an hour,
You've got to check out on these. If you do nothing else, get one of these. You've got to. You'll sleep better. I'm sure of it. And if you're not, if everything we said is not true, the numbers, all the contact info's on here. The website you call, okay, you'll get your money back. But you've got, and by the way, capped postage and packing. So you buy, sorry, I'll point to the graphic, shall I? $4.95 per order once. So you could get pillows for the whole family, the guest room, your parents, anyone you care about, you want to help sleep better, particularly if they're elderly. Or young, actually, for that matter, or, formative years when they're trying to study at school and focus. It's important they get a good night's sleep. This will help. At least start with a pillow. Get one if that's all you can afford. In fact, if you can't even afford a pillow, get a pillowcase. At least the silk on your rubbish pillow will help.
Those pillowcases, Rob, we should have mentioned, in my judgment, talking about pillowcases, this particular one we sell, if you were lucky enough to find a shop in the United Kingdom, obviously there are a few shops selling this quality of silk, but if you were lucky enough to find a shop in the United Kingdom selling pillowcases the quality we are selling tonight or this morning,
yes,
you'd pay about 50 or 60 pounds for that pillowcase. Now you might be sitting at home saying to yourself, hold on a minute, I've spotted something here. Rob is telling me, Raymond's agreeing with him, they're both telling me this is the highest quality merchandise you could possibly get. Why is the price so low? Here's the reason why the price is so low. Normally when you manufacture something like this, when you're ready to sell it to the public, you take it to a distributor. He sells it to a wholesaler. The wholesaler sells it to the retailer. Mm-hmm. Now, each one of those people, they're not bad people. They're just trying to make a living. They add on a margin of profit. We have taken those three people out of the equation. We only supply one company in every country. In the United Kingdom, it's Shop and TV. The buyers here are very, very professional. They're very tenacious. They know their job. They buy very large quantities at an affordable price, and they pass the saving on to the viewer.
Yes.
That's why the price is so low. You are buying champagne for the price of beer. And you're getting the most wonderful 10-year guarantee.
10-year guarantee
money-back
on a pillowcase.
A double guarantee.
But they don't stop working after 10 years. Again, these potentially could last you as long as your duvets. By the way, sorry, Ray, people want to know the colours. So desert is this one here. Yeah. Then it's desert sand. It is basically
desert sand. Yes.
Arctic is the blue.
And
then sage green is
that's very popular.
Is the green, and the white has sold out. So which is the next one that's likely to sell out, please, Fraser? Arctic will be the next one
that's
to
very
go.
popular,
That's very low in stock as well. Ray, we've got loads of emails, and I think can we go through them? So we're going to go back to the duvet. The single's almost gone. Last call, please, on the single. Very low single figures, the next few people. On the pillow, if everyone checked out, what percentage of stock would we have left? So if everyone checked out right now on the pillow, big stock, we would only have a third of the stock remaining. We're actually getting closer and closer to limited stock. At least start with a pillow. At least then you'll know. You can always come back and buy more. Well, actually, I don't know if you can, because with everything that's going on in China, we don't know whether or not when the next lot's coming over. This could be the last show for a while, or at least whatever's left over from this show for a while. And obviously, we wish everyone over there our absolute best. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how horrific that is. Morgan says, good evening or night. I know I always get confused. Sam said he would like to lay on the bed for a quick break if possible. Don't worry, Sam, in a minute. On a serious, Sam's our TikTok Sam. Shop on Sam. You've got to go to Shop on Sam. He's our floor manager. On a serious note, are the duvets easy to wash, or do you need certain things to wash it? No, they're easy. It's standard machine, 7.5 kilo front loading machine, whatever machine you've got. Standard wash, 30 degrees, so it's like a cold wash. Any detergent you like, your regular detergent. Don't use bleach, obviously. You can use fabric softener if you want. You can tumble dry them on low as well. If you do have, let's say for example, the outer cover has got stained or dribbled on, or if the kids have got duvets and they wee on them or whatever. The stain you can get. I only know Vanish make a gel product that is safe on silk. I'm sure lots of the other type of whitening and oxy type products do a similar thing. Just make sure it's safe for silk.
And silk dries very quickly.
Oh, it really
once you
does.
have washed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So if people who have any member of the family who's bedbound, and very often little accidents happen, whip it off, wash it quick, dry it quick, have it back in the bed quick. You never have to pay to have it dry cleaned.
So I live in a flat in London, and I've got a clothes horse, and my Super King duvet, when I get it out, I double it up so it doesn't drape on the kitchen floor, and it takes about, I don't know, 45 minutes to dry.
Yeah.
If that. The pillows, when you put the pillows, now you could fit 2 pillows into the washing machine, or if it's a 7.5 kilo, that's what I've got. But they would be kind of smushed. I like to give them a bit of room to breathe, and I do one at a time. Again, same. You can use liquids, liquid gels, tablets, powders, nothing special, whatever you want. And they take about an hour to dry. They take a little bit longer because they're denser, and I tend to turn them over halfway. But again, you could, if you wanted to, just put them on a low heat tumble dry if you needed. Why is it called mulberry? From David in Edinburgh. I think we've explained that, because the silkworms eat mulberry leaves. AAA grade comes from the white mulberry leaf. By the way, I've heard that there are now people claiming higher grades of mulberry silk. As far as we know, it's rubbish. It's like they did with tanzanite.
I've never seen it.
AAA was the highest tanzanite, and someone said, "Oh, let's make it 4 times, and then it's even better."
Rob,
it's like 6-minute abs. I'm going to make 5-minute abs.
I remember once somebody said to me, about higher grade. Personally, I've never seen it. No. It's like the old joke that was told in television: 2 Rolls Royce dealers next door to one another. One selling Rolls Royces for £1 each, one selling them for £150,000 each. So the guy said to the £150,000 man, "Well, they're selling them for £1 next door." He says, "Well, just go next door and buy one." And he went next door, and the guy next door says, "Well, they're £1 each." He says, "But I don't have any." And it's the same with silk. AAA grade. If you go into Google or Wikipedia and type in all about silk, this is what Google will tell you. Within the silk industry, AAA grade mulberry is considered to be the king of silks. The king. You can't go higher.
So we were asked, Jay Cronin asked about the colours of the pillows. We've done that. Let me just bang through these, if I may, Ray. And keep them coming, please. Hi, Robin Ray. I purchased a silk duvet a while ago and love it. So I recently bought another duvet and pillow. You see, this is it. Once you get one, you'll get them all, depending on how many beds you have to cover. They are fantastic, and I would recommend them to everyone. That was from Simon. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. Again, please, let's share the wealth. Let's get everybody into the Mulberry Silk Club, because look, I don't get any commission from offering these to you at all. I make no extra money. I get, a rate to come and present the show, and that's it. And I want to say that because I do get very enthusiastic. I know I am kind of the mulberry silk guy. If you remember when I went viral on Twitter a few years ago, David Brent selling duvets and all of that. But there's a reason for that. There truly is. Tony Burgess. Hi, Tony. How are you? Can you tell me what happens to the caterpillar or chrysalis of the silkworm when the cocoon is used for silk? Well, they sort of go through their life cycle. Well, I'll let you answer that.
Well, unfortunately, and it's just the way it is, unfortunately, when the silkworm kicks the cocoon off, unfortunately, the silkworm is dead. It's as simple as that. Right. There's no way of disguising that. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
In the same way a cow is dead when you fry a steak. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, understood. Rebecca, see, we want to be completely transparent about all these things, and that is, it's the nature of life, isn't it? Excuse me. Currently watching in a rather overheated bed. Rebecca, I know your problem.
9 out of 10 people. 9 out of 10 people. That's the problem, Rob. And overheating.
She says going through early menopause due to radiotherapy. Sorry to hear that, Rebecca. Can't wait for the mulberry duvet to see if it really will help my sleep. Rebecca, if it doesn't, drop an email for my attention to studio@shopontv.co.uk, and I will personally give you your money back. Okay? That's how absolutely certain I am. Let me put it this way. If a mulberry silk duvet can't help you, no duvet can help you.
Well, Rob, as you know, I can just say to this lady, my wife is not going through the menopause, but she has the same problem that this lady has.
Yes, yeah.
Take away the menopause. And I can assure you, if you sleep under one of these, you will not overheat.
I mean, you just can't. It's really weird. you're so used to, or at least, well, you may find this, my experience was when I first slept under the Mulberry Silk Duvet, I was so used to having, 45, what would I have been, 48 years of sleeping under synthetic fibres, and I couldn't sleep under feathers because I was allergic to them. A lot of people are. And I was so used to duvet off, duvet on, duvet off, duvet on. Pillow, wake up, I've got sweaty hair. You know what that's like in the... Oh, no, you're not even in the summer. When you've got the central heating on, it's just, same thing. Turn the pillow over, go back to sleep, do that again umpteen times throughout the night. And the first time you sleep on with your head on a mulberry silk pillow or your body under a mulberry silk duvet, you wrap yourself up and you're kind of expecting the same, but then it's not. It's really odd. I get a kick out of it. Even this morning, honestly, I would say this morning, my morning, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm lying in bed, I'm covered in my mulberry silk duvet, I've got the windows open, I know it's cold out because I've got up to go to the toilet about half an hour prior, and I'm the perfect temperature. I'm not too cold, I'm not too hot, and my duvet stays on me all night. It never comes off. You'll probably see I often sit with the pillow on my lap all night. I'm not getting a hot crotch, ladies and gentlemen, because of the temperature regulation, and you wouldn't want that. I don't think I would either. B, hi B, says, I have the duvet and absolutely love it. One of my best purchases. I can't recommend enough. Every word you say about this duvet is so spot on. I could not be without it. However, it'd be really good if Ray could make a silk duvet cover to go with the pillowcases. Can't do silk, B, because otherwise it's too slippery. But Ray?
What's the lady's name? B.
Yes.
Oh, B. I'm laughing because my next door neighbour used to be called B. She's moved down to Wales now.
Yes, yeah.
Now, the answer to your question, B, is simple. When we started off 36, 37 years ago, we were naive. We didn't know any better. And when we made the silk duvet, we covered it in a silk cover. And after about 4 or 5 months, the public phoned in and they said, we love your duvet, but it's slipping off the bed because silk is so smooth. So we decided that we would put a high quality cotton cover on. Now, compared to silk, cotton is coarse and it grips. And silk is a cocoon fiber. When you marry it to cotton that grips, when you slip under it to sleep, it cocoons you. It doesn't walk in the middle of the night. You don't waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, one leg dangling out the bed, backside sticking out the duvet. You slip under this and it gently folds itself around you.
Yes.
So we stopped making duvets with silk covers because they were slipping and moving on the bed.
However, you have now, or are about to bring us 300 thread count Egyptian
320.
320, long fibre,
and there
top quality.
We hope to have them before Christmas.
Duvet covers that match the colours of pillowcases.
The sateen stripe, they're lovely.
Oh, they are. We've seen them. And in fact, Leslie, our producer, she had a look at one and almost fell in love.
She ordered some for herself for me.
I know she did. So we're getting those in stock as soon as we can.
Good old Leslie.
Good old Leslie. She is a trooper. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the situation. We have one single duvet left. That's about to sell out if you want a single. And again, perfect for sitting in front of the TV, putting your feet up, keeping yourself nice and cool in the summer. Because yes, the temperature regulation works in the summer too. If it's hot outside and you're too hot, wrap yourself in silk. I know it sounds crazy. And if you're cold, look, I'm a big fan of Mount Everest. I'd never climb it, but I live vicariously through those that do. And I've watched every documentary available on Mount Everest. What do they wear? What is their clothing lined with? Silk. Skiing clothes. What is the
quality skiing clothes? Yes.
Silk. Silk often aligns tents if they're for use in cold conditions. Silk is the great insulator. It really is. But again, because it's a natural fibre. If you think about it, in this cocoon, the silkworm has to in China goes through extreme temperature changes. Very cold at night, very hot during the day.
As you've just seen today in China.
As you've just the weather. I mean, no joke. Again, obviously not to be in any way insensitive about that, but the silkworms will be trying to survive. They're protected from that sort of thing in here. They're also protected against predators. You'd think this would be really, really fragile, but I'm squeezing that. It's hard. Look, I could just start. Look, I'll show you at the end. I could just
know,
start
Rob,
to dent it.
Up until
It's really tough.
maybe 25, 30 years ago, bulletproof vests were lined with silk. You couldn't fire a bullet through it.
My point is that if a silkworm got too hot or too cold in this, it would die.
Yeah.
These are specifically designed by Mother Nature to regulate temperature. So inside, the silkworm is the ideal temperature for metamorphosis, because that's what these are. They're a cover while it turns into a moth. All those benefits, and obviously it can't get wet and sweat, and it would drown in its own sweat. This, I imagine, I'm not an insect specialist. Oh, the single, right? The single is sold out. You get the same benefits when you cover yourself with a Mulberry Silk Duvet. Can I just quickly take stock, ladies and gentlemen? Where are we at? What's going, how and where? So single's gone. The next to go will be the Super King. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about, folks, if you've got a king-size duvet, would you like the hotel drape? So on this bed, it's a double bed, we have a king-size duvet, so you get the extra drape. It's just enough so it doesn't drag on the floor, but it's about, you've probably got about 6 inches more drape than you would with a standard duvet. So if you want to go for, if you have a king-size bed and you want to go for a Super King duvet, you get the hotel drape for that as well. Obviously, if you have a Super King, the Super King's the largest size we do, but you do get a nice bit of drape anyway, so you could upgrade now. Also, so on my double bed in the crew house, I have a king-size duvet. It also means that, because I'll never ever, once I move out of that room, I'll never ever have a double bed again. But it means if I then, well, I will probably have another king-size bed at some point when I move into my new house. So I've now got the duvet for it. I know that I've got 4 Mulberry Silk duvets, 8 pillows and 3 mattresses. I know that the pillows and the duvets, they will probably outlive me, or I will be old and grey before I have to even think about changing them. On my pillows, I have cotton, Egyptian cotton pillow protectors with no filling, no plastic or anything in them at all. You have to cover these. Duvet covers, pillowcases if you're not using the silk ones, mattress protectors if you buy the mattress. They have to be natural fibre. Egyptian cotton is the best. There are a couple of companies on Amazon that you'll find that make 100% pure Egyptian cotton pillow protectors and mattress protectors with no plastic in them whatsoever. So those will help prolong the life of the pillows even further. You don't need a duvet cover, but you can put a duvet cover, particularly to change the colour of it, obviously. And if you do put a duvet cover over it, at the end of the day, the silk will probably never wear out. The only thing after maybe 30, 40 years that might start to go a bit threadbare is the cotton. But that's only if you just keep it as a cover on it. You put a cover on it. This genuinely could be the last pillow, or certainly the last duvet, maybe the last pillow as well, that you ever buy. And if it's not the last pillow you buy, I bet you won't buy more than one before you leave this earth for good. And your kids will be sleeping. You buy them now if they're toddlers or teens. When they're 40, 50 years old, they will still potentially have the same duvet that you buy them today, same pillow even. Because you can wash them over and over again. You can keep them clean. They're no dust mite. You're not going to have a pillow that in 3 years, 50% of its weight is dust mites, dust mite poo, and the carcasses of the dust mites' relatives. It will have no, or very, very few, maybe a few stragglers, but they don't stay, they go. It will still be as good today. My pillows that are 5 years old, my original 4, 2 on my bed, 2 on my son's bed, look as good today as they did the day I bought them. At least, okay, we've now only got, all right. We now only have 1/3 of the stock left. So 2/3 of the stock is actually sold. If everybody checked out now from the remainder, all the pillows are gone. This is potentially your last chance for a while. Are there more coming over already on the...
Yes.
So we will have more pillows available.
There's not the slightest doubt there's going to be a shortage of AAA grade silk based on what's happened in China in the last 36 hours with the weather. Just look at the television tonight and you'll understand.
Folks, I don't normally do this. Let me work this out. 100, what's 40 times 100? £4,000, right? Okay. If you're not happy with your pillow, now look, apart from the fact that on the tag there is contact information for RK Sales, Ray's company, the exclusive distributor of these products in the United Kingdom and Europe. you can get in touch. You will get your money back anyway.
Rob, we've been in business for
Yes.
67 years as a company.
Yes.
And I'm telling you now, looking at this camera, whatever you buy from us, if you're not happy with it, even after the guarantee is run out, as long as you're not being absolutely ridiculous,
Of course.
we will give you your money back.
Yeah.
The last thing we want is an angry customer. But just remember with these pillows, ladies and gentlemen, we in the first 6 years, 5.5, 6 years, in the first 13 months when we sold them, we sold 86,000 pillows. We offered the customers the money back.
Yep.
No arguing, no fighting, instant money back. We got 19 returned out of 86,000.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned earlier in the program, every year in Britain, 10 million pillows, bad, inferior, horrible, cheap,
Rubbish.
nasty, rubbish pillows. 10 million end up being thrown into landfill. These don't get thrown into landfill. You buy them, you put them in the bed, you enjoy them. Your head doesn't get hot on them. You don't sweat on them. They're machine washable. Dust mites don't live in them. That's not Raymond saying that or Rob saying it. That's a United Kingdom Allergy Board saying it. No dust mites in these pillows. I have 4 sons. Martin, my 3rd son, he suffers from hay fever terribly. One year in particular, we were at the Royal Cornwall Agricultural Show, and he forgot to take a pillow with him. And honest to goodness, he nearly dropped dead with hay fever. We had to take him to hospital. I mean,
I had that.
Allergies are a terrible thing. Allergy Board approved. I sell them for £60 each and £5 postage. You can buy them from Shop and TV for £40 and £5 postage. So that's £20 saved. The reason why they're so inexpensive on Shop and TV, they buy large quantities and they're not greedy people. They are on a small margin of profit, and they pass the saving on to the viewer. So take them, try them. It looks as though we're going to sell out of pillows tonight.
Yes, I'm just going to give stock updates. Ray, this is the part of the show where I apologise in advance.
Go.
I know I'm going to interrupt you here and there because it's just crazy busy out there. What I wanted, I know it's terribly rude of me, isn't it? What I wanted to say, look, if you, I mean, say, you know, an average cheap, nasty, horrible £10 pillow that you're going to throw away after 3 months, maybe 6, if you really struggle, you know, if you really persevere. I mean, that's only 4 pillows you're going to chuck away. This will still be going, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. It comes with a 2-year guarantee anyway. But the fact is that the silk, there's nothing here that is, you know, that's different to the duvet. That doesn't mean you will also own this for 30, 40 or more years. We just don't have, because they haven't been around long enough. They only were designed, you know, a few years ago, so there isn't enough historical data. But on the duvets, they've been around for decades, and so, you know, people have had them for decades, and they have lasted for decades. But also, so the minute I moved back to the UK from the US in 2018, and when I started working with Ray, I just decked out our whole place with Mulberry Silk, particularly for my son. My son has been hospitalised numerous times with asthma, and, you know, almost died a few times, and, you know, been in ICU and all of that kind of stuff. Great fun. So, you know, I'm not saying these are a cure for asthma, but my mum was told years ago, because I was asthmatic as a kid, the best thing you can do is make sure there's nothing in the room to aggravate the asthma. So, you know, she dusted and kept it clean all the time. But here, the dust mites, it's the dust mite droppings that are the allergen. And also bacteria and crap. Sorry, excuse me, did that just come out my mouth? I'm so sorry. Rubbish like that. I do apologise. Wow, that's never happened to me in my career. See, that's the problem I get to. I'm being really straight with you here, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's the rubbish that's in the pillows that you don't want it in there, and it doesn't live in these, and they're washable, so you can wash them once a day, once a week, once a month, once every 6 months. I mean, you know, you do you, babe.
This is the one I sleep on at home, Rob. I brought it with me. It's been washed at least 20. Look at the condition of it.
Oh, I know.
It's been washed at least 20 times. Cold wash, 30 degrees.
Right, Ray. The pillows are about to go limited stock, so we are almost at the point where honestly, the pillows are about to sell out. They are over allocated. We have more people trying to buy the pillows. If we have queues on the phones again, if you're skeptical, like I said, I promise you, if there was anything that stopped you from getting your money back, not that, I mean, Ray's company is probably the most honest and ethical company I've ever worked with. Why do you think they're on Shop on TV? We only work with those.
Well, we get vetted before we come on.
Get vetted. But here's the thing. Look, I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you. I am the head of TV at Shop on TV. I am senior management as well as a presenter. So if there was, I guarantee you have my personal guarantee that you will get your money back if you are not satisfied. Simple as that. Job done. And remember, that's why you're not buying this now. You're trying it now. But also, you know, I want to give you peace of mind. If you're like, oh, well, who the heck is Shop on TV? Maybe you've just tuned in for the very first time. We are an official partnership with ITV and STV. We are contracted partners. We broadcast on ITV's Ofcom licence. And our liaison at ITV is on the board of directors of Ofcom and the Advertising Standards Authority, on the board. And so we are kind of your official shopping show on ITV and STV. So that means we are governed by and held to the highest standards, not only ITV's, but also Ofcom's and the Advertising Standard Authorities. And we take that very seriously. We would be taken off air by ITV if there were anything that we were misrepresenting, not being clear, open and transparent about. Honesty, integrity and trust are the three watchwords of Shop on TV. So your money, folks, is safe as houses. You go to a website, even the famous ones, there's no guarantee of that. There's no oversight on the internet. You know, and also you go to some of these big websites now, they're using marketplace sellers. You don't know who these marketplace sellers are. You don't know if you can get your money back. You don't even know if you're going to get your product. You have to be really careful online. Stick to the main stores, obviously, and you should be safe enough. But that, I want you to know, peace of mind when you buy from us. And I promise you, I will take care of you. Ray will take care of you. Our company, Shop on TV, will take care of you. And the reason I'm so enthusiastic about this is because these are the best pillows money can buy, in my experience. These are the best duvets money can buy, in my experience. Same with the mattress. And I don't actually have the pillowcases, to be honest. I haven't. Because I've got a matching Egyptian cotton set in a particular colour. That's the only reason. But I know how good they are, and I know a lot of people who have them. Ray, very quickly, sorry, I don't want to dominate. Here's what toxic sleep is. If you don't sleep properly, you don't feel good, do you? Simple as that. You know, everyone watching now has had a bad night's sleep at some point. You feel lousy, don't you? You have to go through 5 to 7 different levels of sleep in order to get that full, deep, recuperative, that's the word I was looking for, restorative, healing night's sleep. And when you go to sleep, if at any point during that sleep you are woken up, you can't, in the middle of whatever level you're in, you can't just carry on where you left off. You have to go back to the beginning. And that's roughly every 90 minutes. So if you get broken sleep every 90 minutes, that's what they call toxic sleep. Most everybody watching now probably is in that category. If you have ever slept or only ever slept with your head on a pillow that contains hollow fibre, synthetic fibre, man-made fibre, whatever you want to call it, or any kind of feather, no matter how high quality it is, even wool, I guarantee you, in my experience, you have never had a proper night's sleep. I know it sounds ridiculous. Now, the other factors you have to take into consideration, what you sleep on. If you get a cocoon mattress, then you're sleeping on mulberry silk as well. So all the benefits that we talk about that are above you are also below you. If you don't have a mulberry silk mattress, then a good mattress. If you've got a mattress that was springs sticking in your bum, or lumps and bumps and dips and holes and pits and, crevasses, that ain't going to help you sleep, is it? If it's too hot in the room, it ain't going to help you sleep. You know what? Turn the heating down when you get a mulberry silk duvet. You don't need the heating. In some cases, you can even turn it off completely. If you live next to a main road, as I do, that's, the noise is going to keep you awake. I use earplugs. If it's too bright in the room, and I work shifts, so during the summer, the sun's up at 3 a.m. when I walk out the studio. Wear a blackout eye mask. That's what I do. We work on the circadian rhythm. We're supposed to be awake when it's light and asleep when it's dark. That's not always going to work for everybody's lifestyle. So take care of the environmental factors the best you can. You know the one a lot of people forget about? Smell. It's one of your most powerful senses. I've got these incredible sprays from ERC that they have a cocktail of aromatherapy oils that are all said to, I believe even proven to help promote good sleep. And I spray some on my face. I've got other oils I put on my pulse points, on my wrists and behind my ears, and I'm out like a light in minutes. And I wake up just, restored and ready to go. But the only thing that you can change right now, if you take care of all the environmental aspects, is the pillow you sleep on and the duvet you sleep under. And if you were my friend and I knew you personally, I would tell you, I wouldn't ask you, I wouldn't suggest, I would tell you, get a duvet, get a pillow from Mulberry Silk now. All my friends have them, all my colleagues have them. I don't know anyone, I don't think, now who doesn't have Mulberry Silk duvets and pillows. Even my most sceptical best friend from school, Phil, and his wife, Elise, who you may remember Elise, she's been on our airwaves when we were in our London studios, finally caved and got themselves a Mulberry Silk pillow and pillowcase, and they love them. Doesn't matter what age you are, if you've got elderly relatives that you worry about sleeping well, maybe they've got aches and pains, certain illnesses, they're bed bound, etc. Get them this bedding. And I'm not just trying to flog your bedding. I don't care if you, I can't say I don't care if you don't buy it, because I do care from a humanitarian and perspective. I know what's good for you here. I genuinely do. And I know how much you're going to benefit from these when you own them. I can't force you to buy them. Only you can make that decision for yourself to do a good thing for yourself today, but also for others in your family to take care of them and make them comfortable. Again, particularly kids, youngsters, if they're, when they get to the exams in the summer, if they're not sleeping well, how can you expect them to get the sort of top grades and things like that if they're not focused? So, please check out the pillows. Going to go. We've got 50 more people trying to order the pillow than pillows we have left. The double duvet is also about to sell out. Sorry, I was supposed to do this about 10 minutes ago. All of the double duvet spoken for. If everyone checks out now, the double duvet is gone. The single's gone. Super King will then be next to go. So that will leave us with just King. And even the King, that's the deepest stock, but even that's flying. Pillowcases, we have less than 100 across all of the remaining flavours. We've got less than 30% left of all of our duvets if you added them all together. It's one of those shows again, Ray. What can I say? I've spoken for too long and I apologise.
No, you haven't. I've enjoyed it, actually.
Well, thank you. I like to please. Oh, I've got some questions here. Let me see. Let me let you talk for. We'll come back to the questions in a minute, unless there's anything burning. Sounds like the quality is amazing to help one sleep. How are you guys still awake?
Nice one.
Paige, I'm not Paige. I've just become used to presenting while I'm actually asleep. Well, let's do these quickly. What's the size of the Mulberry Silk Duvet? Standard UK size. This is not sold out. Standard UK sizes across the board. Just bought the pillow and it's like laying on a cloud, so I ordered the duvet. Hopefully, see, Gina. This is Gina. People buy a pillow, then they go, oh yeah, he's right, and then they get the duvet. That's fine if that's the way you want to do it. And maybe after payday, come and see if we've still got duvets left. You can always come back and get the duvet out. At least get a pillow tonight. You know what I mean? Carol bought the duvet pillows and mattress last month. She says they're great. It would take too long to tell you how good they are. Well, tell me about it. We've only got 3 hours and we're struggling. Tell the viewers from me, go and buy now. You'll sleep like a baby. Well worth them. Thank you, Carol, with an E, by the way. And Andrew says, is it okay to put a quilt or quilt cover or best left uncovered? With the duvet, it's up to you because it's got a cover on it, essentially.
230.
It looks lovely. If white's your theme, again, I say this and I'll keep saying this, yes, if you want to put a duvet cover on it, you can, but make sure it has to be natural fibre. And really the only natural fibre is cotton. Cotton, and if you can stretch to Egyptian cotton, standard cotton's fine. It's a bit coarser, but if you want to have this silky smooth cotton, go for the Egyptian cotton. You can get from Dunelm, other bedding shops, Amazon, about 20 to 30 quid depending on the thread count. Dirt cheap, but get it, because if you put synthetic fibre on your duvet or your pillow, I always say it's like if you've got a non-stick frying pan, right, and you put food on the non-stick, it doesn't stick, does it? Because it's non-stick. But if you put a steel plate on top of the non-stick and then put the food on that, it's going to stick in it because it's not touching the non-stick. They're not connecting, they're not touching, it's being blocked. Same happens with your silk properties, which means, Ray, we can go back to the beginning.
You don't really need a top cover.
No, you don't.
One thing we haven't mentioned, the cotton on this duvet is long fibre.
Yeah.
Now, for the most people will know this, but a few people may not know this. So let me take maybe 30 seconds to explain something about long fibre cotton. If you pick cotton using a machine or a mechanical device, the cotton becomes stressed and it breaks, and you get short fibre cotton. Now, virtually 90% of all the cotton products sold in Britain are manufactured from short fibre cotton. If you pick the cotton by hand, it's a much more gentle process, and it doesn't stress and it doesn't break, and you get long fibre cotton. Now, long fibre cotton is softer. Ironically, it's also stronger than short fibre cotton. It lasts longer. It can be woven in a slightly different way, and it's simply more luxurious and nicer to sleep under. And I mentioned earlier in the program, when I'm doing a live presentation, very often, it happens dozens of times every day, people, when they touch this for the first time, you can see the shock in their face. You can see that they think to themselves, well, hold on, this is different. And it is different. It's a quality that you just cannot get in most of the shops in the United Kingdom. The best of the best.
Benjamin says, loving the Mulberry Silk Duvet. So soft and scrumptious. Best buy ever. My wife has become the most relaxed she's ever been in bed for years. I'm not going to touch that one, Benjamin. Maybe that's what your wife said. And changed our lives, he said. God bless Shop on TV. Thank you very much for that. Keep your emails coming, please. I'd love, for those that are sceptical, it's always nice to have people who were sceptical, bought the duvet, and then now, like Benjamin, you know, are telling their story. But again, if you've got any questions, I know we'll get questions about washing. We always do. We'll get questions about duvet covers and things, but because people are tuning in and out all the time. Right. Okay, here's the situation, folks. The pillow's now limited stock. It is on the verge of selling out. If you have it in your basket and you don't check out within the next 5 minutes, I would say, you won't get it. There are twice as many people trying to get the pillow as we have pillows available. So, and look, it's capped postage and packing, $4.95 per order once. So you could get 20 pillows if you wanted. You'd only pay $4.95 P&P. So the thing is, if you buy one pillow now and then you come back in a few days, you've got to pay another P&P charge. So I'd recommend buy as many pillows as you need or want now, because also, again, you can always send them back. If you just want a straight refund, like you bought a few and then like, oh, actually I need 3, not 4, Shop on TV offer a refund policy as long as it's not opened or used. So you can just send that back. If you've used it, tried it for a period of time and then aren't getting on with it, and the chances of that happening, I mean, I think, you know, the devil will be skating to work before that happens. But then you can get your money back directly from RK Sales details on every single product that, you know, of the products that you buy. And remember, 2-year guarantee on this. First of all, you can try it. You can sleep on it. And you've got weeks, you know, to actually put it to the test before you decide, yeah, I'm going to keep this. You can't do that with any other pillow at all. As far as I don't think there are any exceptions from the shops, right? So, got to be quick on the pillow. The double duvet, got to be quick on the double duvet. That's about to go. And the Super King, what's the stock on the Super King, please, Fraser? We're just going to check on that. Just momentarily. Oh, we've got literally, we are down almost to single figures. Ignore the sellout, it's not a sellout. So apparently, Fraser, you have to uncheck the sellout sign, Craig was saying. Sorry, I'm just talking IT with my producer. And if it sells out, it'll just disappear automatically. We like to do, troubleshoot IT while we're live on the telly. Well, I do. And also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please bear in mind, you have got PayPal Pay in 3. You can spend anything from £30 to £2,000 with PayPal per authorization. So select PayPal for as the payment method on the website. It's only online, but you could just put everything you want up to a value of £2,000, and then it will take you to PayPal's website. You log in or create an account, select Pay Later, and it will then you go through a few very simple steps, and it will approve you. Hopefully, mostly people do 85%, I think. And once it's approved, the order will then be placed, and these will be with you. What are we today? Wednesday. They'll go out tomorrow, won't they? Or later today, even.
No, well, today, when I'll be back home in Glasgow by 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock we'll start sending them out.
Okay, and they go out, tracked.
2 to 3 day maximum
days,
delivery.
yeah.
We send them by DPD, so
Yeah.
they say next day, but we always say
Give it
a
an
couple
extra.
of days.
You
Just in
might
case.
be very well sleeping on these at the weekend, and again, if you have any trouble ever, you just email studio@shopontv.co.uk. You put it for my attention. The producers get those emails every night, and they will. There are only 2 producers that work for us, and I will take absolute care of you. I know I'll never have to. The reason I can say it with such bravado is because I know the customer service that not only Shop on TV offer, but that RK Sales offer is so good. You won't find better. It is just impossible. So you're safe, your money's safe, and once you get these pillows, the quality of your sleep is finally safe. Ray, should we go back to the beginning?
Right.
Actually, I'd like to do a little section where we talk about be careful of cheap imitations and things claiming to be silk, and why get these for peace of mind.
On all of our duvets, we have a small zip about 18 inches long.
Yep.
If you unzip that, you will be able to examine the silk within the duvet. Now, we do that for a reason. At the moment, on the internet in particular, but also in retail shops, there's a lot of inferior or fake silk, unfortunately, being sold. What they do, Rob, they get cotton, polyester, and they polish it so it looks like silk.
So they literally fake it.
Yeah. Now, to the untrained eye, you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
And what they do, they get a small quantity of silk, normally 30%, and they add a large quantity of either man-made fibre or polished man-made fibre to look like silk, so they get a higher profit.
Yeah.
Now, everything we make and we are offering this morning on television here is made by the official Mulberry Silk Manufacturing Company Limited. I stress when I'm on a live presentation or on television, always read the label. We have to tell you on the label exactly what's inside the duvet. It will tell you in simple language that anybody can understand. There are no inferior fibers. It is all pure mulberry, high-grade, AAA grade silk. And because it's pure, because it's high-grade, because it's the best, you're going to get the most wonderful night's sleep you've ever had. And if you don't, and I don't think that's possible, if you buy one of these, you're going to have a level of comfort that you'll be stunned. The level of comfort.
Well, it
That's the
cocoons
word.
you, doesn't it?
Well, it is a cocoon fibre.
It's a cocoon fibre, yeah.
It's designed not by me, not by man. It's designed by Mother Nature to gently fold itself around you, and then it sits. It doesn't walk in the middle of the night.
No.
You don't waken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, half of the duvet on the floor, backside sticking out the bed. Duvet on, duvet off, duvet on, duvet off. Now you're awake when you should be asleep. And one of the main reasons why you're awake, you're simply too hot in bed.
Do you know what occurred to me, Ra? I've never thought of this. An original thought has finally popped into my head in all these years of doing
First
these
one,
shows.
Rob.
The first one. Well, we've done these shows so long. I mean, I just, I have a million things that I always like to cover because I think they're important. But you know what occurred to me? Because it's been so long since anybody's loved me. I haven't had a partner, so I haven't slept. I've got a Super King bed and I haven't slept. No one has ever slept in the other side of it. It's what I call wishful thinking. But the point is, I remember back to the days when I did live with numerous fiancés and wives. And
Both of them.
Both of them, that's right, yes. And I remember how, first of all, if you're a couple, and you've got one duvet, one type of duvet on you. In fact, my parents have individual single duvets because they run
A lot of people
temperature.
do.
A lot of people do. But if you've got one and one person runs cold, the other one runs hot, someone's going to suffer. You get a really hot duvet for your partner, then you're suffering because you're too hot. Or you get a really cool one for your partner and you run cold, you're suffering again. It doesn't matter. You can have two people with radically different body temperature needs lying next to each other, and you're going to each get exactly the ideal perfect temperature for you, bespoke. But here's the thing, this is the original thought. Human bodies put out a lot of heat. And I remember lying next to a very hot woman. in temperature-wise.
Metaphorically
speaking. That she was pretty hot in other ways too. But the point is that it's not just the duvet. You could take the duvet off, and you've got radiated heat from the other person. With Mulberry Silk on top of you, it stops that radiated heat from overheating you as well. So if you're a couple, Mulberry Silk is absolutely essential. If you're not a couple, Mulberry Silk is absolutely essential. If you sleep, Mulberry Silk is absolutely essential. I believe, in my experience, and look, I wouldn't have spent my own money, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, on 8 pillows, 4 duvets, and 3 mattresses, if it weren't that good. I wouldn't have done it. It's as simple as that. And again, I don't get commission. I'm this enthusiastic because look, I've worked in this business for, I'm an actor by trade, but when I'm resting, as they say, between jobs, and these days that's a lot because the industry's, well, don't even get me started. But I started as one of the original, not the original, but after the first year of broadcasting, I was on the original shopping channel. So I was one of the first shopping TV presenters in this country for 7 years. And then I lived in America for 15 years and I was on the major networks out there. And I worked for at the time, the second largest shopping channel in the UK for a couple of years. And now I'm head of TV and one of the presenters, the main presenting lineup for Shop on TV on ITV. And the reason I'm saying this is that over the last 30 years, plus also I consulted for and worked within the direct response television industry throughout all those decades, writing, producing, directing, and also presenting infomercials. And I've had about a dozen major infomercials that did between $50 and $100 million in sales over the years. And so I get, all day long, I get offered every product you could possibly imagine. If there's a pillow, I've tried it. If it's on an infomercial or on telly, I've tried it. If there's a duvet, if there's a vacuum cleaner, if there's a blender, if there's a widget, if there's a something, if a whatchamacallit, honestly, I get offered these things to try all the time and have for 3 decades. This pillow, these duvets, the mattresses, if you just so desire to treat yourselves, are the best in my experience, and it's professional experience, it's extensive experience. You might call it even expertise, right? They are the best. I've never come close ever to finding anything as good. And I believe that you'll find the same. And if I'm talking nonsense and rubbish, get your money back. Prove me wrong. Do you want to sleep better? Do you want to sleep as well as you possibly can? If anyone says no to that, then you're either a masochist or you're just trying to be, you're just sort of disagreeing for the sake, you're polarity responding, as they call it in the psychology world. And that's just, who's missing out in that scenario? You've only yourself to sort of, you're only cheating yourself if you just, because it does happen. People say, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying off telly.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
What happens, Rob? If you were born,
but the cases are limited, by the way.
If you were born in Britain today, the average, according to what I read recently, the lifespan of a man you can expect to live for 78 years. If you're a lady, you can expect to live for 81 years.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that means you're going to spend at least 26 years of your life in bed trying to get a good, decent, restful night's sleep. Restful. That's the key word. You want to rest properly. Now, very often people put up with duvets that make them too hot, they're uncomfortable, pillows they don't like. They just put up with them.
Can you hold that thought?
Yes.
Right? Sorry, I'm so sorry. The pillow is on, we're talking petrol fumes. We're down to almost the last handful. It is essential you check out now. In other words, go to the website, pay, press basket, check out, pay. You can either do it as a guest if you don't want to sign up for an account. It is free to get an account with Shop on TV, and then you can save addresses. You can have these, by the way. You can create a list of addresses in the person's name with their mobile number and have these items sent directly to them. So if you're thinking about all the people you're going to buy these for now, you can actually have them go directly, and the courier can call them if they need to when it comes to delivery. But they are going to go. The pillow is going to sell out. We have about 100 people trying to buy the pillow, and we have about 20 pillows left. If it's in your basket and you're, 150 people. If you're now watching, the pillow's something you want, it's check out or miss out. The pillowcases across all colour, I almost said flavours, all colours, white's already gone. There are a handful of Arctic left. In fact, also with the sage, which is the green one at the back, and the desert, which is the sand one, they are also about to sell out. So it's literally last call on the pillowcases. Grab whichever one you want. And again, if you're getting 2 pillows, get 2 pillowcases.
All the teenagers love the sage. All my granddaughters love the sage.
They are a bit sexy, if I'm being honest. If you're dating and it's something new.
Sage.
Yeah. The desert will be the first to go. But actually, look, if you need a pair on the bed and a pair to wash and you need to buy 2 or 4, get them now. Single P&P $4.95. You're not going to have to keep coming back and then paying more P&P. I'm just trying to save you. You can always send back what you don't need if that is the case. Even if you're using PayPal, and remember you can spend up to £2,000 with PayPal. The pillow, I'm going to have to do that, I'm afraid. It's now or never for the pillow. Honestly, the duvet, we are down to the last third of the stock of all the duvets. So the double is about to sell out. The Super King is close to being limited stock. And the king size will be the only size that we have any stock left of, if we're lucky at the end of the show. We are at 10 minutes. What is it? What's the time now, please, somebody? It's now 1:45. Things do tend to slow down a bit by about 2:30. Ignore the sold out sign there. Sorry, I apologise. It's just one of our system glitches. Just please, all I can say is check out. You've got everything to gain and 0 to lose. Your money's safe. You've got money back guarantee on everything from both arcade sales and also the refund policy from Shop on TV. Your money is, so you're buying from a reputable company. We're not just someone that's bought some airtime from ITV and that's it and all about it. We are partners with ITV. We're all behind you here. So do yourselves a favour. Experience Mulberry Silk. This is not puffery. This is not exaggeration. This is absolutely the God's honest truth from years of experience of myself, everyone that I know, everyone I've worked with for the last decade or so. Yeah, it is getting on for that now. Ray, we're almost out. So you know what? I'm going to put my feet up now. So can we go back to the beginning?
Right.
Oh, I want to talk about also, because I did a search for Mulberry Silk duvets.
Right.
There are a couple of companies purporting to sell Mulberry Silk duvets in this price range. They are not legit, because now apparently there's this thing where you can say Mulberry Silk, but actually there's only a percentage inside.
Percentage.
The duvet.
Well,
Martin found that.
My Martin. Well, funny enough, with Martin, sometimes we mention this when we're talking about this type of thing. Where I live in Glasgow, there's 2 major shopping centres, and people from Glasgow STV will know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Now, within one of those shopping centres, I'm not going to be cruel, I'm not going to mention names.
No.
But what I am going to say is this. Within one of those shopping centres, there's a very large company who trade internationally. They have a marvellous reputation for making high-quality products. And they do. They make extremely high-quality products. Martin, my son, not this Christmas, last Christmas, went in to buy a dressing gown for his mum, a house coat. And when he was in, he noticed that they sold silk duvets. So he was nosy, obviously. He went across, had a look at them, and he did what I always tell people to do. He read the label. Now, when he read the label, he found out they only had 12% silk in them. Now, this is a company with a marvellous reputation for quality, but they still were selling duvets with a Mulberry Silk label on them, but it was only 12% silk. The rest was man-made fibres.
Man, well, what's the point in having the silk then?
But here's the point, Rob.
Yeah.
Now, this is the bad bit.
Mm.
For a king-size duvet, that company were charging £512.
Good God.
512.
I mean, look, I'd pay £500 for one of these.
Now, the reason why we mentioned earlier, and I'm going to repeat it here, I'll go over it quickly to save boring people. The reason why we can sell a duvet for £200 that they charge £512 for, the reason why we can fill it with pure silk, no man-made fibres, right? Here's the reason. We don't supply shops. When you supply a shopkeeper, he adds on a profit. He's bought it from a wholesaler. The wholesaler's bought it from a distributor.
Yeah.
So those three people want a profit, quite rightly.
Yeah, yeah.
They're doing nothing wrong. They're honest people trying to make a living. Now, we've eliminated those three people. We only have one partner in every country, Shop and TV in this country.
Yeah.
Their buyers buy very large quantities at an advantageous price, then they pass the saving on to the viewer. They work in small margins and hopefully they sell large quantities. And that's been the case tonight. As you can see, we're selling out.
It's interesting, Ray. During my consultation years in the States when I was working in direct response, often a lot of companies or brands would ask me, well, I want to get into retail as well. So I did start sort of getting into it, and I tell you what, it's a science. It really is. I mean, the expenses. So a lot
advertising,
of like a big shop, or department store or something, or chain. There are so many. They'll want a cooperative advertising budget for their TV commercials and billboards and print ads and things like that. If you're on an end cap, where you get the most visibility, that's a surcharge. They want a certain amount of money for shrinkage. In other words, if anything's damaged. Shoplifting. If something doesn't sell, guess what? All goes back to the supplier. So and if there is sales, yeah, and boys, celebrity endorsement. Obviously. Well, celebrity endorsements out. I mean, how much would it cost to have one of those? All we've got is us.
Two fat men in an industrial estate.
Yeah. For a few £100 a night.
I don't get paid at all.
I don't get paid what I used.
When I ask Martin for money, he says, Dad, don't be silly.
I did a show the other night with Richard Meyer, our drone guy, who does, let's face it, most of the talking. And our boss, Jamie, who may be watching, I thought this was very funny. He said, you're not talking very much, so it's only half rate for you. So I thought to myself, well, that's half my normal rate, not the rate I'm actually getting these days. Because nobody's earning these days. What I was earning in the 90s would make your eyes water. And it was far too much money for a 20-something. It was, and I haven't got a penny to show for it because it all got peed up the wall, shall we say? TJ said, "Hi TJ, how you doing?" TJ Pearson, what a great name. Sound like you could fight crime. I purchased the king size duvet and 2 pillows, and can honestly say I've had 4 nights best sleep ever.
Thank you.
Told you, TJ. I hate to say, told you so. But we did, right? But I'm really glad that you took advantage and got these. Been waking, having horrible dreams about my wife dying from cancer this last year. I'm sorry to hear that, TJ. I can't even imagine. This mulberry silk has helped me move on, and waking feeling cool and not as hot. The heat causes the dreams. As Rob says, who once lived in the US apparently. Did I mention that, TJ? Did that come up? Oh yeah, I did. Mulberry silk is brilliant. Just trust what he's saying. Seriously, thank you, TJ. I really appreciate that, and I'm so glad that these stories are interesting. Life is such a rich tapestry, and it can be full of joy, and it can also be full of tragedy as well. And we never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And so This is honestly why I'm so enthusiastic about these duvets, because, as I say, I don't get commission. We never commission presenters here, because otherwise it would be too tempting to just try and say anything to get you to buy it, because that's how we'd make our money. And so we don't do that. I get a fixed rate, and it's for presenting information. But because I've had so much benefit and joy and pleasure and good night's sleep and rest, and I'm actually 86, and as you can tell, it's all working very well. I like to pass that on. The reason I do this job, I don't have to do this job. There are other jobs I could do that frankly would net me a much larger income. and I get offers all the time. Jamie, if you're listening. But the reason I love this is because it's a job that serves the public, and I know that sounds ridiculous, and I don't want to sound all schmaltzy and make you throw up on your sofa, but I get a kick, and maybe that's selfish, from the fact that a lot of the time I'm helping people, the products that I'm offering are helping people, such as yourself, TJ, and also that when a person, well, you know what it's, remember the last time you bought something that you weren't sure about, maybe you were skeptical, maybe it was a bit more than you could afford, and then you got it, and it turned out to be one of the best things you've ever bought. Remember that joy? Now, with this duvet and this pillow, sorry, you can't, the pillow has gone. Sold out of the pillow. That's going to turn to a sold out momentarily. So genuinely, this is why I keep coming back to shopping telly. Do you know what changed my life? Can I tell a quick story? Right, I'll tell you this actually. So I don't wish to exclude you. So I was the youngest ever shopping TV presenter in the UK. When I started at the 3-letter company, the original channel, I was 22. I do believe to this day no one has ever been that young starting out as a shopping TV presenter. It was my first big TV job. I didn't know my what's it from my elbow, but I learned pretty quickly. And I think I'd been there about maybe 2 or 3 years, and we had a customer appreciation reception for our top customers. And so the atrium of where we used to work was filled with hundreds of our top customers. And it was all very exciting, and people asking for my autograph and all that kind of. It was my first brush with sort of pseudo fame, and at some point later in the sort of the proceedings, this lady and gentleman came up to me, and they said to me, "Rob, we love you. My husband particularly enjoys watching you, and we genuinely think that you're the reason he's still alive." And I was like, "What?" And so the story went on that the lady was telling me that he'd been diagnosed with terminal cancer and had only been given, 3 months to live or 6 months to live, something like that. But from the joy that he got from watching me on television, that's what they attributed to him living another 2 or 3 years or whatever. It was quite a large extension. Now, I'm not saying that was the case. They believed it, and boy, did that for a 22 or what would I have been, 23 or 24-year-old, wet behind the ears,
send you through the clouds.
Well, it made me realise the importance of what I do, and not just the importance, actually, the responsibility that I have, because with great power comes great responsibility, or with great responsibility comes great power. And so I'm very, very careful to always, to never misuse that, because there are people out there, impressionable people sometimes, who might buy from television because they believe everything that's said on telly. And I've been at places where they're pulling the wool over people's eyes, and I hate it. And I've walked away from that. And honesty and integrity always wins the day.
Yeah.
And that's why you're still here.
Well, we've been in business for 67 years, and I've listened closely to what you were saying there. And I have a similar situation, but I'll condense it down quickly. And my grandchildren say to me very often, "Granddad, you're quite old now. Why don't you stop work?" And I don't stop work because I enjoy this job. I go to the same exhibitions year in, year out. When I book a stand at an exhibition, I say to the organizer, I'd like to be in exactly the same location as I was the year before and the year before that, so the public know exactly where I'm going to be. And very often people, they just walk past my stand and you just go like this. They go, "Got one, love it," walk on. And every day maybe 7 or 8, 9, 10 people will stop and have a little chat, and they'll say, similar to what you're experiencing, they'll say, "I've got one, love it." So when you're selling something that the public love and you're getting compliments when you're meeting them again, it's not work, it's nice and easy.
Absolutely. I mean, and look, I can't offer you the pillow anymore. The duvets are about to sell out too. Seriously, if you know what's good for you, get a duvet. You will sleep better, I believe.
You've sold an awful lot of pillows, you know that.
Well, I know, but it's not. I haven't sold them. I really genuinely think they sell themselves. It's just up to us to extol their virtues. But honestly, anyone I care about, I recommend these products to. And I'm not doing that to sell you a duvet. As I say, from a sales perspective, I couldn't care less. We do all right, thank you very much. If one duvet, a handful of duvets is not going to make a difference. but for your own good, you will, I believe, sleep better and better than you've ever slept before. Certainly, if you've only ever slept under a synthetic hollow fibre man-made duvet or any kind of feather or wool. Same with the pillow. Let's do a couple of emails, and then I'd like to go back to the beginning of the story, if I may, for the final hour.
For sure.
Morning, Rob. This is from N. Clements. Hello, N. Clements. I don't know if you're a Mr. or a Ms. I've purchased the duvet and pillowcase, and I'm a fairly big guy, and I have to say, since I've had this duvet and pillow, I have not sweated during... Oh, it's big guy. I do know I now know you're a Mr. I should have read the email first. I've not sweated during the night. I was 26 stone about 6 months ago. Unfortunately, I can't believe I got that big. Again, didn't sweat either. Had other problems, but you know, that's a story for another day. John from Glasgow. You're familiar with Glasgow, aren't you? I think
I know a little bit about
it. Yeah.
I was born in Tollcross.
Ah, wow. I love I've got Scottish blood in me. I don't know which bit. One day I will live midway between Edinburgh and Glasgow, because I love both cities too much. Morning, Rob and Ray. It's nice to see you both on this morning with the Mulberry Silk Duvets and pillows, and I'm so glad I've got mines. Sorry, I'm not taking... You know, I hope you don't... That's how we spelt it. I've got mines.
As Glasgow speak,
It's got is.
We put an S at the end.
I know. What a brilliant... It would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Is that right? Is that Glasgow?
You're getting in trouble now, Rob.
No, I don't. I'm not taking... No,
I didn't mention I come from Tollcross. We don't take prisoners, you know. No prisoners.
I started doing a sort of impersonation of Ray. I thought he was going to kill me the first time I did it. But you impersonate the ones you love the most, right? What a brilliant sleep I'm getting now, as I have spine damage. Ray, thanks again for bringing it to Shop On.
Thank you, John.
And yeah, if you've got any kind of injuries, sports injuries, any kind of medical issues, again, it's not a cure, but if your doctor is putting you in a bed and saying rest, this is going to help you rest, isn't it?
You know, a good night's
potentially
sleep
recover.
is not asking an awful lot out of life. I mean, a good night's sleep, yes. I'm stating the obvious here. Yeah. When you get a really nice, restful, quality sleep, you simply feel better. Yeah. And we are offering you what we consider to be a product that will help you get a night's sleep that is as close to perfection as you could possibly imagine. We are offering you a simple, unconditional money-back guarantee. Yeah. If you buy anything from us and you're not totally satisfied, we will refund your money instantly. Yeah. So you have nothing to lose by trying it. All I can tell you is this. Every time we come to this studio, our sales go up. And they go, thankfully, I'd like to thank the viewers for that, for supporting us. Our sales go up. And in my opinion, the sales go up for two reasons. Number one, the quality of the product, the performance of the product, and best of all, the price of the product. Yes. Where I live, they say a pound saved is a pound earned. And you're getting these, believe it or believe it not, these duvets at a price this morning that is slightly less than we were charging for them when we first launched them in television 22 years ago. The quality hasn't dropped, but the price has. So Shop and TV deserve a pat on the back. They're buying large quantities. They're offering them to the public at an affordable price. And if you buy them, quite simply, you're going to get a good night's sleep, you're going to be a happy customer, and you're going to be pleased you did buy them. Trust us.
Do you know what, Ray?
Yes. 2
of the single duvets bounce back, sometimes on the phone, or sometimes someone applies for PayPal. And
well, why don't you and I buy one each?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'd have another single. They are great for your TV blanket singles, or if you've got kids, there are 2 singles left. Also, we've only got 2 of the Arctic blue pillowcases.
Yeah, they're
left.
popular.
When we've shown the duvet, I'm going to ask our producer if it's okay to quickly show you in person the pillowcase colours. Yeah. And we'll go through all the numbers. They are seriously limited stock. All the pillowcases are about to sell out. All the double duvets. How many double duvets have we got left now? We are just teetering on single figures of the double duvet. And how many of the Super King did you say? There are low single figures on the Super King. And how many? And I imagine the King is probably okay, is it? Oh, there are only 35 Kings left, actually. You know what? That they even could go. We could have a complete. This could be the first complete sellout of the entire show. We've still got an hour to go. I cannot stress. Look, if you thought that putting something in your basket saved it for you, it does not. It's just like Amazon. You put something in your basket. If it sells out, you come back, it says, sorry, this product's no longer available. Happened to me with a clothes horse. I wanted the clothes horse I've got at home in London, in my house, in my room in Warrington, and I just went to buy it, and it sold out. I was like, ah! It's very annoying, isn't it? So it's not reserved, it's not held, it's not put aside. And also, by the way, if you've got something in your shopping basket now online, and there's one left or two left, and somebody goes to the phone lines at 03333241241 and says, yep, I'd like one of those, please. It takes it out your basket and allocates it to them. Because if you haven't paid for it, it ain't yours. It's still ours, or whoever gets there first. So I'm just trying to give you a warning that if you're still awake and watching, there are going to be, later today, because sometimes people put them in their basket and they go to sleep, because I know we are on late, and they wake up later in the day and they come back to check out. And then they're disappointed. And how many people are going to miss out potentially later today, Fraser? On everything. How many people? Oh, hundreds. Hundreds of people. Hundreds of people are going to come back later today and find that what they want is sold out. So if you're still awake and watching, you've got absolutely zero to lose. Just do something for yourself. Get yourself something that's going to actually improve the quality of your life. Very, very little that you buy these days that you can buy actually really improves the quality of your life. But this can improve the quality of up to a third of your life, or more even. It genuinely, not just for a few months or, for decades potentially, is going to help you, your family if you buy these for them, your loved ones, your friends if you recommend them to get them as well, as many do. You're helping people help themselves, and that's what I'm doing. I genuinely believe I'm helping you help yourself. If you don't, for any reason, that was very Alan Partridge, wasn't it? If you don't believe me, at least prove me wrong to spite me. Buy to spite me if that's what you want to do. If you can't afford it, I understand. PayPal maybe will help. And look, if you couldn't get the pillowcases, Ray, they're not going to have the same benefits as the pillow that are filled with silk. But we're putting silk on the outside of a rubbish pillow, if that's all people have got right now, and all they can afford,
well, keep your head cool.
Still
you
help.
won't sweat. There's no static in the silk pillowcase, so you don't get frizz in your hair.
Should we see the Arctic blue? Let's go through them one at a time as you talk.
Well, that's the Arctic blue.
Yeah.
Now, when the pillowcase, well, quite simply.
One left of the blue.
Well, Rob, can I just say this with the pillowcase, that if you were lucky enough to find a shop in the United Kingdom selling silk this quality, now obviously there will be some shops selling silk this quality.
Of course, yeah.
But they're very few and far between.
And it will be more expensive.
To buy a pillowcase this quality, I would expect to pay minimum £50. Now, here's a little word of warning for any customer thinking of buying pillowcases, especially coming up to Christmas. It's only 90 days to Christmas. Coming up to Christmas, all sorts of companies will be advertising pillowcases on the internet. Now, be careful.
Yeah.
Because people have been telling me recently, one lady said to me recently at a live presentation, she said, "Do you sell pillowcases?" I said, "Yes, we do." She said, "Could I see them, please?" And I handed her the pillowcase. And she looked at it like this, and she said, "Hold on," she said. "These have got silk on both sides." And I said, "Well, of course they do." She said, "Well, I bought some off the internet." She said they were £47 each. And when I got them delivered, the silk wasn't very good quality, and they only had silk on one side. Now, these are made by the official Mulberry company. Read the label, right? Our head office is in Vancouver. We trade internationally in 35, 36 countries throughout the world. They have silk on both sides. The silk is pure silk, AAA grade Mulberry. the finest you can get. Check that in Google. Go into Google, type in all about silk, Wikipedia. They'll tell you Mulberry, AAA grade, is the king of silks. That's an interesting word, king. There can only be one king. And within the silk industry,
That's
is
me.
Mulberry.
No, sorry, Mulberry.
Right, so that's what you have here. Now, if you have a silk pillowcase, it will help your skin. It won't stop your wrinkling, but it will slow the process down dramatically. In silk, there are 18 amino acids. One of them, Rob, is called sericin.
Yes.
Now, what sericin does, as you sleep, it keeps your skin hydrated, so your skin doesn't dry out. If you sleep in a cotton pillowcase, it will take the moisture from your skin, and it will help your skin wrinkle much more quickly. Incidentally, very often when you go to bed at night, ladies, and some men as well, will put on face creams that they paid 40, 35, 40, 50 pounds for before they go to sleep. And then they put their head in a cotton pillowcase, and the cotton pillowcase drains that cream from their face.
Yeah.
Now, silk stops that happening. Ask your hairdresser what it does for your hair. If he or she is knowledgeable, they will tell you it cuts static, so you get no frizz. And if you have long hair, you don't have to tie it up at night, right? And I'll tell you something else. Very often people say to me, when they start, this happens all the time, you know. People say, you know, I bought one of your pillowcases, and I might see them a couple of years later. They say, the difference to my hair is amazing. The body is given my hair. You know, they say my hair is much more manageable. I don't have to wash it as often. I get out of bed in the morning, I just give it a quick brush, and I'm ready to go. This pillowcase, you'd expect to pay 50, 55 pounds for. Here, the 35 pounds. We're selling out. Grab them while you can.
So that was the sage. This is the desert. Excuse me.
Yes.
The desert is actually
Desert sand.
generally desert sand, one of the most popular colours. There's one Arctic left, by the way. The white's already sold out. So now I want to say for the record, we're not doctors, even though Ray looks like one. And I just play
Witch doctor.
And a witch doctor, yeah. And I just play one on TV. But look, we have not independently tested these pillowcases to have any kind of health benefits whatsoever, because that would be ridiculous. However, they are 100% pure silk, top grade silk. Silk has been tested for those properties. If you look online and doing your own research, you will find all of the evidence for it. So as Ricky Gervais would say, you know what I mean? I mean, it's there for all the world to read.
Something, Rob, I apologise, I forgot to mention this.
No
but
apology.
It's so
necessary,
important.
Right? Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, there's a phrase that's known the whole world over, smooth as silk. And it's important you keep the silk smooth. Now, to the best of my knowledge, I must just show this to the viewers. No other silk pillowcase that I know of personally, and I go to trade fairs all over the world, and I see all the other companies selling silk.
Yes.
I've never come across one that has this. Inside, we have sprayed on a fine layer of cotton. Now, compared to silk, especially pure silk, cotton is coarse or rough. And the cotton, when you put the pillow in, the cotton grips the pillow, and it keeps the pillowcase smooth as silk. So when you're waking up in the morning, you don't get those irritating tram lines on your face.
How do you wash them?
Wash them, a cold wash, 30 degrees.
Yep.
No special agent. To be honest, Rob, can I tell you something?
Of course you can.
This is how my wife washes.
So while we're here, really.
Right, well, this is how my wife washes them, right?
Yes.
And this is it's only a little square of silk, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Right? But it's very special silk. It really is.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So when you get something as special as this, it's worth taking a little extra effort to keep it in good order.
Yeah.
And what my wife does, she washes it by hand using any normal agent.
Uh-huh. Powder,
Then
gel, whatever.
she takes a bath towel.
Yeah.
She folds it over like that,
Yeah.
places it inside a bath towel, presses the bath towel down on it, right? That'll dry it 90%. instantly. She lifts it out, irons it, and it will look like that. Well, the one she has in her bed at home is, now let me think before I open my mouth. The pillowcase she has in her bed at home is is 16 years old, and it looks like that.
Now, two things. If you have a miracle chamois,
Yes.
that's great for put your silk between your.
That's the
miracle
big
chamois.
gentleman from New Zealand.
That's right.
I bought some of those from
They
him. And, he's a nice man
Yeah.
at an exhibition.
They're
and
amazing.
they're excellent.
And also, if you have a Pulte steam generator iron, which has a very, very cool sole plate but lots of steam, that's the perfect thing to iron your mulberry silk.
The lady.
Here they are. We can show
the
them.
lady
Here are
who does the
miracle
Pulte here. I forget her name.
Bev.
They used to be right opposite us at the top of the escalators at the Idea Home exhibition.
Yeah.
And she bought some duvets off me, and she absolutely loves them. She bought them at the Idea. Haley and you know Haley and Sean who present here.
Yes, yeah.
They bought duvets off me before they didn't know anything about television.
Yeah, yeah.
At the Idea Home exhibition, they were working for Tefal.
Tefal, correct, yeah.
And they were next stand to us. They bought a duvet off me, and they're still sleeping on it 30 years later.
Annette Baker Malcolm.
Under it.
Do you remember Annette?
Annette, she's living in Spain now.
Oh,
she's an absolute lovely lady.
I worked with her for years.
Yeah.
But no, do you know a little story, just a little aside. So I went to see Annette at the Ideal Home Show.
Yeah.
And these were the days when I was on telly in that job I was describing earlier for the first shopping channel. And Sean and Haley had never been on telly or anything like that. And apparently, I'm told, they were starstruck.
Oh, they would be. So am I.
And now, oh, stop.
Come on,
but now
Rob.
look at this, wind on all these years, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to do, the Arctic's now sold out. So we don't have much of the others. We've got single figures on the others as well. And by the way, Ray.
I'll just bring this one forward so
13 desert, 12
the viewers
sage.
can get a good view of it.
Yes, can I just say, Ray,
Yes.
can you take, if you buy a pillowcase, I don't know this, if you buy a pillowcase from a shop, can you take it back?
Nope.
Oh, you can't?
You can't take any bedding back. Under the Health and Hygiene Act,
Yeah.
they simply say, sorry. Now, some shops, well, I've never met a shop that would take them back, to be honest with you. I told you earlier in the programme, and I'll repeat it very quickly. Where I live in a small village, and it's only 1,700 people in the village I live in, so we tend to know one another. And I was in the local supermarket paying for some groceries, and the lady said to me, you know, I saw you on television the other night. Those pillows, are they any good? I said, yes, they're wonderful. She said, could you please bring me in two? And I said, well, you sell pillows here, 2 for £10. You got loads of them on the shelf. Why don't you buy them? She said, they're rubbish. She said, the customers are constantly asking for the money back. She said, but we don't give the money back. Every year in Britain, 10 million, this is a fact, check it on Google. I'm not making these figures up. 10 million bad pillows are sent to landfill.
Ray, we can't talk about it because that sold out ages ago.
Pillows gone now as well.
No, we didn't. Pillow.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we don't.
Pillowcases, okay.
Yeah, no. But the point I was going to make is, can you return these if you don't like them?
Yes.
Get your money back.
Anything you buy from us.
But how long is the guarantee for?
Well, with the pillowcase, we guarantee the pillowcase for 5 years.
I thought it said on 10. I thought it was. Oh, it's 5, is it?
Yes.
I'd have to check the video. I thought it said.
Well, maybe I'm old. I make mistakes.
I'm young and I make mistakes. We'll check it.
Is it 10? I'm not sure.
It said 10.
If it's listen, can I say if it's 10, it's 10.
Yeah. So I don't mean to contradict.
No.
But the point I'm trying to make is on a pillowcase, you can get your money back if you don't like it. B, when you decide to keep it, you've got it for. Well, in fact, our director's just checking now where it says the guarantee. It's guaranteed. So and what I'd like to do, if I may, in the last sort of 40 minutes or whatever it's 35 minutes of the show, can we go back to the 42 minutes? Can we go back to the beginning? I'll ask you, how about I'll do a quick Q&A with you, Ray?
Right, come on, go.
A single duvet sold out, by the way. Where does Mulberry Silk come from?
94% of all the silk in the world comes from China.
It's a 10-year guarantee.
Sorry?
It's a
10, is it? Yeah. 94% of, I apologise, I made a mistake.
No worries.
94%
Just don't do it again.
Oh, no doubt I will. 94% of all the silk in the world comes from China.
Yes.
The Chinese are the experts with silk.
Yeah.
They discovered silk apparently 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And 94% of all the silk in the world, Chinese.
Yeah.
3 or 4% from India. Now, Indian silk is okay. But Indian people, no, I'm not being bad, speaking bad against Indian people, but Indian people know that the silk is okay,
Yeah.
but not as good as Chinese silk.
So what percentage is AAA grade?
AAA grade is round about 4 to 5%.
Of all the silk in the world?
Yeah, and I'm not scaremongering here, but I've mentioned it twice this evening during this was going to be a 3-hour show. If you watch the news, I watched it in the green room this evening, the flooding of this terrible tragedy has happened in China today and yesterday today with the flooding. It was horrific.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
Yeah.
We know there's going to be major shortages of silk because the trees have simply been washed away.
Now, can I just ask?
So if you are thinking of buying any good silk, get it tonight.
And again, I have to say, when I get home, I'll watch the full. I haven't really seen it.
Horrific.
But I'm sure it's terrible. And
We're so sorry for the people.
No, our thoughts go out to them, absolutely. Gosh, can you imagine? I'd rather not. What I was going to say is, I want to ask you, so I think there is one container already on the sea.
Yeah,
Is that
we've
right?
got
So
one.
let's work out, when are we going to get this bottleneck? When's it going to happen?
Well, we don't know. We're going to have to find out in the next 3 or 4 days, and then we'll know. But we're at the mercy of Mother Nature.
Well, you stop manufacturing, don't you?
And when we stop, if we can get AAA grade, we sit on our hands.
Don't you just use offcuts from others?
No,
never.
Absolutely not.
So it's always full length.
You know, Rob, that's why we have grown from a tiny little office the size of a caravan in a back street in Vancouver.
Yeah.
We now export to 36, 37 countries throughout the world simply because we have standards and we don't bend. I remember once, this will make you laugh, I remember once I was in a TV studio in Phoenix in Arizona and this quite a famous guy came in. And he was actually a very nice guy, an American guy, but he was very much forceful and very loud and forceful, but a nice guy, you know. And he said to me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm selling duvets and pillows and that type of thing." And he said, "What's your gimmick?" And I was a bit taken aback. I said, "Well, we don't have a gimmick." And he said, "Well, you never sell anything without a gimmick." And I thought for about 10, 15, 20 seconds, and I thought, hold on. I said, I've changed my mind. I said, we do have a gimmick. And he said, what's your gimmick? I said, our gimmick is we don't have a gimmick. That guy is no longer in business.
I know. Honesty wins at the end of the day.
It's
1.9 million people have had
you know, Rob, you see all these different pillows. One, they told you to put it in the microwave before you put it.
Yeah,
then there was another one, if you wanted to keep your head cool, put the pillow in the fridge.
Yeah.
Then there was all sorts of gadgets.
What we saw was made of husk.
And then there was one, they brought out bamboo pillows. Bamboo is grass.
Yeah.
Bamboo is grass.
Yeah.
Right? So it ended up smelling and it was horrible and it went hard. This is the finest fabric known to man.
And we haven't mentioned they're handmade, these. How do they make a duvet?
Well, how they make it is quite simple. What they do, they take the silkworm, they feed it in mulberry leaves for 35, 36 days, right? They place it in a darkened room in a steel tray. They feed it in mulberry leaves, 3 different colors of mulberry leaves, red, black, and white. If you feed it in red and black, you get high quality silk, mulberry. If you feed it in a white mulberry leaf, you take a step up, you get the highest grade silk in the world, AAA grade mulberry.
That's what this is?
That's what this is.
There are 2 ingredients.
Now, yes. Now, after 35, 36 days, it kicks the cocoon off. Now, the cocoon, I had one. I don't know what I've done with it.
It's on top of your little thing there.
Here it is. The cocoon, this little cocoon here, that's kicked off. We place that in tepid water. All the silk floats off in one piece, unbroken. Each strand of silk on this, each fibre, is over 1 mile long. Now, because it's long, because it's unbroken, they can stitch it all the way around the perimeter. Now, it takes 2 skilled operators a day, sometimes a day and a half, roughly a day, to make one of these duvets. They stitch it all the way around the perimeter, and now it's anchored. Now, they pull it towards themselves, and they put the box cassettes in by machine. Now, that means 2 things. Number one, when you sleep under it, you're now sleeping under a complete covering of silk that cannot move. So you get no cold spots. It is a cocoon fibre. It doesn't walk in the middle of the night. It gently folds itself around you, and it sits, and it stays, and it doesn't move. You don't overheat under it. It self-regulates. 2 people who share a bed, one likes the bed warm, one likes it less warm. Happens 9 times out of 10. You can both sleep under this and be perfectly comfortable.
Well, that was my next question. First of all, I just want to point out, you know, because people have wondered, you know, 2 people to make 1 duvet for 100.
Well, it self-regulates.
Yeah, but no, but they make several duvets at the same time, obviously, and the economics are slightly different, you know, in our countries. But I wanted to say, so yes, so why is silk, do we believe, the best thing you can sleep under, this silk in particular? In other words, what are the benefits that make this different from anything else anyone's going to sleep under at home, and why they should buy it now?
Well, most people in this country, a high percentage of people, will be sleeping under, say, duck, goose feather or polyester.
Yep.
Some people sleep under wool.
Yeah.
Now, in actual fact, wool duvets are quite good.
Yeah.
The only issue I take with the claims they make is they tell you wool will keep, well, some people do.
Yeah.
They tell you that that wool will keep you cool in the summer. Well, I've never met an Indian lady who wears a woolen sari.
No.
And if you're digging the garden in the summer, 70 degrees, and you overheat, you don't put a woolen sweater on to cool down.
No.
You might take the woolen sweater off and put a silk shirt on to cool down.
And saris are silk, aren't they?
Yeah, saris are silk, yeah.
Beautiful.
So
saris.
the advantage, the answer to your question is this. The major advantage, silk keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer, right? You can wash it in the machine, a cold wash, 30 degrees. You can tumble dry or line dry. Once or twice a year on a warm, sunny day. If you're lucky enough to have a garden, drop it over the washing line in the garden, and the UV rays of the sun totally purify and cleanse it. Now, what I'm going to say next, please, for your own peace of mind, check this on a computer. Don't take my word for it. Check it on a computer.
Google or Wikipedia or something.
Silk will wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. Any lady going through the menopause, buy one. Try it.
If you're up now because you can't sleep, that's
buy
exactly
one.
The person who needs one.
Right? If you're sharing a bed with somebody who sweats. Only 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was doing a live show at an exhibition, and this lovely lady came up to me. You know, she said, I'd just like to thank you. She said, I bought one of your duvets off Shop on TV. I saw you on Shop on TV, and I'd seen you on multiple times. And this particular evening, I just thought, right, tonight I'm going to buy one. She said, I'm thrilled with it. She said, my husband and I have been married for 40 odd years. She said, and he was getting to the stage in bed, he was sweating like a racehorse. She said, it was so bad. She said, I was going to get single beds. She said, so I thought, I'll try one of your duvets. If I don't like it, I can always send it back. I bought one. She said, it's the best thing I've ever had.
And even
people say that all the time.
Even if he'd sweated like a racehorse in it, you still
wicked away.
You'd still get your money back. You have an unconditional cast iron money back guarantee on everything you buy.
Do that little impersonation for the viewers. It takes the mickey out of me.
I don't. If you don't like it, we will give you your money back with the same civility that we took it from you. As I don't
sound like a mafia.
Sound
like a mafia member.
You sound more like
Marlon Brando.
Sound like Batman. You buy the toothpaste for your family.
Good old Rob.
Oh God, I love you, mate. Do you know? I love your camping story.
Oh, I'm not camp Rob.
Well,
no, my
not
camping
your
story.
Camp story. Your
that's
camping
a different story.
Your camping show story,
Yeah.
actually. You know.
Well,
but you can tell us a camp story.
camp story if I want.
Oh, I bought this duvet.
Well, we go to every camping show and have done for 67 years. And for 37 of those years, we've sold silk duvets.
Yes.
Now, in the summer months, all of these camping shows are held Friday, Saturday and Sunday on outdoor showgrounds.
Yes.
And people come along on, say, a Friday afternoon, put the canopy out off their awning out, get the tables and chairs out, get the children organised, and then they'll start to walk around the trade stands to see if they want to buy anything. And very often, or sometimes, let's say, people come up to my stand and they say, you know, I quite like the idea, but I'm not certain. So this is what I say. I say, well, buy it, pay for it, obviously, take it back to your motorhome or your caravan, sleep under it tonight. And if you don't like it, wrap it up under your arm, bring it back tomorrow morning. It's less than 60 seconds to where I am, and I'll refund your money. Now, given that choice, virtually everybody buys one. Now, the next morning, Rob, 30 to 40% of all the people who buy one come back, not for a refund, to buy a second duvet. They want one for the motorhome, one for the caravan, one for the house. Now ask yourself this question. They've slept under, say, duck, goose feather, polyester, wool for maybe 20, 30 years. They sleep under this for one night and immediately they're a convert. So if you're one of those people watching tonight, maybe you're sitting at home thinking, well, I'm not sure. Should I not? Take my advice. Trust Rob and I. Try it. If you don't like it, I promise you, we will refund your money in the exact manner Rob said a minute ago, with a smile on our face.
Yeah, that we take it from you. And again, be prepared. These are not big, thick, heavy duvets. They don't have a tog rating.
That's what's nice about them.
I know. They don't need to be. They are. Believe me. Once you get under one of these, you're going to go, "How is it doing this?" It's a miracle.
And another thing, you know, we haven't mentioned, and I apologise, and I should mention this. If you, unfortunately, have any member of your family who is bedbound, now I speak with some authority on this, because my mother-in-law, before she died, was 93 years old. She was very fragile when she died, before she died. For the last 18 months, 2 years of her life, she was bedbound totally in hospital. And in hospital, they wouldn't let us bring a duvet in. They used sheets and blankets. And she didn't complain. We used to visit her every day because the hospital was only 1 mile from our house, no hardship. We went up there, somebody every day, never complained once. The only thing she didn't like, the blankets were pressing down on her knees, her toes, elbows, and hurting her. And of course, she was overheating under them and get bed sores. And if you've ever seen bed sores, they're horrific. So what I would say is this: if you buy a duvet like this that wicks away moisture, I'm not saying it will stop bed sores, but I am saying it will help tremendously. It'll wick away 30% of its own weight in moisture or sweat. So that's going to help anybody who's bedbound tremendously.
Well, I don't know, but there probably, certainly in my cursory research, there probably isn't anything better than the Mulberry Silk Duvet if you are in a situation like that.
Right. And remember this, Rob. When people are bedbound, obviously they sleep in bed, they have their hair washed in bed, they have body washes in bed, they eat in bed, little accidents happen. Well, you can take this duvet off, wash it quickly, pop it in the dryer, it will dry within a couple of hours. You never have to pay to have it laundered or dry cleaned. Where I live in my local supermarket, as you go in the left-hand side, there's a franchise operation. You can hand the duvet in and they'll launder it for you. But they want, I think, it's £27.
So for the synthetic duvets, and often they don't cost much more than that. I wanted a couple of things. I just wanted to take stock of my thoughts here. Obviously, you talked about the caravan show. If you have a caravan, or a motorhome, or if you're going camping or glamping or ramping or whatever, these are perfect because they take up very little space. If you look at down the front of the bed, that's a Super King. Yes, it will fit in a regular 7.5 kilo front-loading washing machine. It will also, I can speak from experience here, fit in one side of a carry-on suitcase. Pillow will also fit neatly in the other side. But if you're short on space, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't do a lot of caravanning or motorhoming, but often the beds become things you sit on, don't they, or whatever. So you want to be able to put the duvet, a duvet away. You try and fold a synthetic duvet like 10 or 12.
Or sleeping bags, even worse.
Same, yeah.
And also people who are serious caravanners who take the job. Actually, caravanners, I like them very much. They're nice people.
Yeah.
Really, Rob, they're nice people.
Yeah, sure.
And the good fun people, caravanners, I've always found.
Yeah.
And people who take it seriously, they are very conscious of the weight of what they carry within the caravan. By law, they cannot go over a certain weight. So if they're carrying a lot of extra bedding, it can be heavy.
Well, if it's in a rucksack, I mean, look, you instead of a sleeping bag, you could very well have a single. Well, you can't now because they're sold out. But you could have a double even. You could, you can use these camping. You could be in a tent in the middle of winter, out in the middle of nowhere, and cover yourself with a double Mulberry Silk Duvet or whatever size you want to do, and it will keep you warm. Believe me.
Well, we are a Canadian company, and I was in Canada last week.
You know a thing or two about being cold, then.
Yeah. Well, we've been selling them everywhere, but in Canada for 37 years, and when we go up to say Quebec. In the winter, it can be minus 23, 24, 25 degrees.
Right.
When people go mountaineering, Rob, what I call the big boys mountains, Mount Logan in Canada, Mount Everest here, K2, right? Everything they wear is lined with silk.
Yeah.
Right? The sleeping bags are lined with silk. Right, the socks are lined with silk, the jackets are lined with silk, because it lets the body breathe. It's light, they don't sweat under it, and they sleep better.
Well, I was going to say, Ray, if you're climbing Mount Everest, and I've watched a lot of hours and hours of documentaries about this, if you had a synthetic fibre in your protective gear, and you're at, you're above sort of the final base camp where you're literally dying every minute you spend above this particular altitude, and it's extremely cold. If you overheated, you can't just take your jacket off and get a bit of fresh air. You would die.
I never thought of that. You're right.
And also, if you couldn't do that, which you can't do that, and you overheated, you would die.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Silk simply keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
But they're not just warm. The ideal temperature for you.
Self-regulate.
It's whatever, because it's proportional to the amount of heat you give off.
And nobody fully understands why.
No.
Nobody. We know what we do know. Silk is a low conductor of heat.
Yeah.
But Mother Nature, she has secrets tucked up under her sleeve. And nobody knows. No. But there it is.
It's very
just
clever.
Accept it.
Okay, folks, let's do a stock take, shall we? I also wanted to say, look, we're just about to hit the beginning of October. The cold, the temperatures are going to go like that. We're already getting close, to Halloween, and then we're talking firework night, then we're talking Christmas. It's going to be a busy time. We don't know once this lot sells out and then the next lot sells out, which I don't know when the next show will even be. We could end up with a slowdown before Christmas.
We will end up.
We will. Why don't you strike while the iron's hot? The point I was going to make is it's better to get something while it's in stock and avoid being disappointed when you go, actually, I think I will get one of those duvets. Oh, whoops, it's sold out. You've got a money-back guarantee anyway. So, and you can also spread the cost. Now we're just under, I think it's 89 days today to Christmas. 3 paydays. That will be paid off by Christmas. This is not just something you buy for Christmas. This is something you buy for life. Yeah, this is going to help you, benefit you, your life, impact your life in a positive way, particularly those that when you're asleep, for the rest of your life potentially, depending on your age. And if you're buying for kids, for a good half of their lives potentially, if not more, if you look after it, there's no reason why you won't have it for literally 50, 60 years. It's only if anything, the cotton that might wear out eventually.
Silk is the second
you know.
strongest natural fibre in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
The strongest is a spider's web.
Eight doubles left, nine
Later
Super King.
this next week, actually, the beginning of next week, at the moment in Glasgow, they have the Tutankhamun exhibition.
Right,
Glasgow.
yes, yeah.
I'm going to see it.
Oh, brilliant.
Because you'll find that some of the artifacts there are wrapped up in silk.
Yeah.
It goes back to Tutankhamun.
Well, yeah.
It's in perfect condition, the silk.
But I'm thinking also student accommodation, where space is a premium. If you've got studio flat, again, particularly, like my parents, they're in their 80s, but they're still sort of compos mentis and, like yourself, very sort of virile and active. But
Thank you, Rob.
But if you have somebody who's you're welcome, somebody who is infirm. I hear about horror stories every single winter about people who can't, the late old age pensioners who can't afford their heating bill, so they don't turn the heating on, and then they perish because of the cold. And I know it sounds like a silly thing, and I'm not trying to over dramatise this just so you buy the duvet. But I mean, seriously, for 5 years I've not turned the heating on during the winter. There are a couple of, every now and then I do, if it gets really stupidly cold, but that's only when I'm walking around the house. It's not for when I'm sitting on the sofa, because I'll turn it off. But if I'm sitting on the sofa watching the telly and it's cold, not even wrap, single duvet, cross lengthways, cross me, cross David if he's at home, up to the chest. And in fact, that is more than enough. So when you think about what the cost of the duvet is, just on the heat savings alone, and I don't have gas, so my central heating is electricity.
Even more.
Ridiculously expensive. I'm saving probably £50-60 a month just by using a single duvet. So there is no scenario where
the important thing to remember, Rob,
you've got to check out that.
What we must try and
hundreds of you are going to miss out.
Sorry, stress to the viewer. It's the quality of the sleep.
Yes,
that's the key word. The quality. When you're waking up in the morning, having slept under silk, you feel as though you've had a proper, restful night's sleep.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned this. The Bedding Association, and I keep telling this to the viewers, they're clever people. They do research. They know what they're talking about. The average person turns over in bed between 30 and 50 times every night.
Yeah.
Now, with
You're not
silk,
supposed to.
No, you just, because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're trying to get comfortable.
Right.
Now, with silk, it just cocoons you.
Yeah. Let's talk, we haven't covered this enough, I don't think. If you've just tuned in and you've got any allergy sufferers, I want to point out that for duvet, if you have a duvet that is synthetic fibre, any kind of feather, or a pillow for that matter, after 3 years, if your pillow, I doubt they'd even last that long, but if they did, duvets maybe you keep for longer. After 3 years, as much as half the weight is dust mites, dust mite droppings, and the carcasses of their former dead relatives. Yeah. And this duvet, and the pillow's gone, I can't even talk about it, and the mattresses, we will maybe tickle the mattress in a minute, they do not contain dust mite. Maybe a few stragglers wander in, but they get out pretty dark.
The life of a dust mite is 10 weeks. It only lives for 10 weeks. Now, the average duvet has 1 million dust mites in it.
Say that again?
1 million.
Wow.
Right? So before they die, they leave eggs, which produce the next million. So the average duvet in a year will have 5 million dust mites in it. Now, there's a clue in the name. Dust. When I die, I turn to dust, and so do the dust mites. Right? And
we're all made of stardust, babe.
Or the pillow, or whatever. Right. Now, these duvets are allergy board approved.
Yes.
The allergy board in the United Kingdom are based in Warwick University.
Yes.
Now, I say this as a compliment. They're not as a criticism, as a compliment. They're very difficult people to satisfy. So much so that this is the only duvet currently being sold in the United Kingdom that has this coveted certificate. Yeah. And interestingly enough, Rob, down at the bottom here, you'll see the certificate is issued for 1 year at a time. Now, they do that for a reason. Very often you go into a place of business, there are certificates up in the wall like this. They've been there for 30 or 40 years. And the companies who have these certificates, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, they let their manufacturing standards drop. Now, that cannot happen with us. The Allergy Board can walk into our premises unannounced. They don't tell us they're coming. They just walk in and they check. And if they find anything wrong, if our standards have dropped, this is taken away overnight.
Yeah.
Now, we
How
have
long you had
this.
it?
Yes, we have this for Canada, USA, United Kingdom, Ireland, all of the EU countries, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, the reason I bring that to the viewer's attention, very often what satisfies the authorities in Canada will not satisfy the authorities in Ireland or New Zealand or Australia. But on this occasion, the quality of the product is so very high. The manufacturing process is so perfect, they can find no fault.
We've got 15 minutes left.
Right.
So I just want to say, well, update on the duvet. We've got, go ahead, please, Fraser. So 6 of the double, was it? 6 of the double and 8 of the Super King. We've got about 30 of the King. Those will probably sell out later today when people come. It'll be the only thing left that they can buy. We've only got literally 5 of the Desert and 5 of the Sage pillowcases.
It's a record show then, isn't it?
It's close enough, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends, you know, for here, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. It's the time to do it. It's the time to get it, isn't it? What was? Oh, yes. Let us look. If you want to go for sheer perfection, the only way you're going to do it is if you also sleep on Mulberry Silk. Now, there are 2 things here. Number one, if you've got an old mattress, throw it away and get one of these, which is, this is a pillow top mattress at the same price as the non-pillow top version. So you're getting a premium for the price of the entry level one. So you're saving a ton of money, but you're literally sleeping on a blanket of Mulberry Silk. Now, if you've already bought a duvet, if you've already bought a mattress recently and you're like, I'm not throwing away £1,000 worth of mattress. I slept on a chronically terrible mattress for 7 years because I didn't want to lose the money. We also have a mattress pad online. I believe it's 5 inches. And that will go on top of your current mattress and give you all the benefits of the Mulberry Silk under you, because it's chock full of Mulberry Silk too, isn't it? We've only got double King and Super King by the looks of it. And what does that just hook around the edge of the bed or something like that, Ray? The pad, the mattress pad.
The mattress pad, yes. It just...
Elastic or something.
Yes, so now you're sleeping on top of as well as underneath.
Yes.
So you're getting an even better night.
So that's your sort of most affordable option. The mattresses, do you know what, Ray? I thought, you know, one of the things you're about to say about the mattress is that you never get a pit. The one I've got in Warrington, I was like, I don't know how to break this to Ray. I've got a pit. But do you know what I found out? It's because the bed frame is so cheap. It broke, and it's got no support under it. So I'm like, oh, thank God. It's not the mattress at all. I'm actually leaving that mattress for I did a deal with the landlord.
I almost panicked there.
No, I know. But I was like, yeah. But the mattress has actually supported me where the bed frame's not. But on the other side where I sleep, it's you know,
well,
they are amazing, these mattresses. We've got about 5 minutes to just quickly do a summary for the mattress.
Lift that off.
Yeah.
Pull that back so we can show it.
Yep, there we go. Lovely.
Right. Now, this is the mattress, right? Now, we've only been making mattresses for roughly 4 years.
Yes.
What happened, a buyer from a very large TV company came along to us. She said, you know, the public love your products. Why don't you make mattresses? Now, we decided we would. But we were in a very fortunate position. Exhibiting, as we do, at live exhibitions throughout the country.
Yes.
We were in a position where we could ask the public their likes and their dislikes, as far as mattresses were concerned. So we did that for roughly 18 months.
Yep.
Roughly 100 exhibitions a year. And we made our mind up. It turned out there was really only 2 types of mattresses, memory foam or sprung mattresses.
Yeah.
Now, some people like memory foam, but we found out an awful lot of people didn't. The two main problems, number one, they got very hot on memory foam.
Yeah.
And secondly, it tended to lose shape. And as you say, you get a dip and you end up sleeping in a hollow. In fact, it happened to me and my wife. About 9 or 10 years ago, she decided that we needed a new mattress. So, of course, I was dragged along to the mattress shop. I didn't particularly want to go. But, of course, I've been married for 48 years, and I do as I'm told. Absolutely. So I went with her. Lay on top of the mattress, it was memory foam. The salesman was very nice, and he told me he had just sold the exact same mattress to Prince Charles.
Wow.
So I thought, well, if it's good enough for him...
Yeah, the king now, of course, yeah.
King, of course. If it's good enough for him...
It's good enough for you, Ray.
So we'll have it. 900 odd pounds.
It's a wonderful, wonderful
70
mattress.
pounds to have it delivered. Got it delivered. Slept on it for 3 or 4 months. Both of us, my wife and I, didn't like it. Made us too hot. And of course, I was much heavier then. And I ended up with a big dip like this.
Can I just say there are only 2 Super King left. If you're thinking about upgrading your bed, this is the time to do it, but they're about to sell out.
So we decided to go with a sprung mattress.
Right.
As a company.
Yes.
Now, when I was a young boy, I slept in a sprung mattress like most people. I was born during the war. And sprung mattresses, the diameter of the springs was very large. Right? So the modern diameter, the modern springs and a modern mattress are pocket springs. And I brought some along here to show you. That's what's inside this mattress. Now,
it's 800 in a king size?
In a double, I think there's 880.
Good Lord, wow.
Right. Now, they'll show you on the screen in a second. There's 5 different layers of comfort.
Yeah, we showed it.
Right. Now, this particular mattress we have on offer this morning is the pillow top. We have 3 different types of mattresses, the regular, the premium, and the pillow top.
So the regular has silk. In fact, that what is it? Planogram, whatever they call it.
Yes.
That's the regular one. It's got silk in it.
Yes.
But it hasn't got silk on top of it.
Hasn't got the pillow top.
But the pillow top is chock full of pure
AAA grade
extra layer
of silk of comfort.
Miles of silk.
Miles of it. Now, these are the springs that are inside. Now, it's a medium firm support mattress.
Yeah.
You're not going to sink into a hollow like this, medium firm. Each spring is individually wrapped and stands on its own.
Yes.
So that means the only springs that move when you sleep on top of it are the springs that are directly underneath your body.
Yes.
To give you an example, this spring here, right in the corner, if I press that flat, the springs either side don't move.
Yeah.
So you get total comfort and support.
So, Ray, you've got...
And you don't sweat on it.
I was going to say, on the top, and also a protective layer inside.
Yeah.
You've got no dust mites, or as few dust mites as possible.
Allergy board.
You've also got the temperature regulation.
You don't sweat.
You don't sweat as well. So, you know...
And remember, you get 60 days trial. You buy it and you try it for 60 days. And if you don't like it, you phone our office up, we send you a bag, you pop it in the bag, and we send a van to pick it up, and we refund every single penny you paid for it. So really, it's just wonderful, to be honest with you.
I just want to say,
if you have a bad back, buy one. Wonderful people with a bad back.
I have 3 of these. So I have Super King for my bed, a King for my son's bed, and I have a double at the crew house. And it's in the same way that sleeping under a Mulberry Silk Duvet and with my head on a Mulberry Silk pillow transformed my life, specifically the part of my life where I'm asleep. I can absolutely guarantee you the mattress, and I've tried loads of mattresses over the years. I've never liked any of them. The last ones I had, I literally for 7 years, it just broke my back. I can't wait to. Well, I'm moving, so actually I'm going to chuck it, and then I've got the new one all ready to go. The cocoon mattress, the Mulberry Silk mattress. I want to say also, you know, Ray didn't just wake up morning and go, I think I'll make a mattress. The Mulberry Silk, the official Mulberry Silk Manufacturing Company Limited, based out of Canada, based out of Canada. They are sleep or bedding experts. You know, they have...
We have some clever people there.
Very clever, you know, bods with
Nice
white
people.
coats and very nice people. But what they don't know about sleep and bedding and what have you is not worth knowing. So it's made to the highest standards by the highest standard or company that adheres itself to the highest standards and hires the best people and best, you know, so you're getting top notch. We don't have time to really say much more about it, except that if you want to take my word for it, it is absolutely worth getting this mattress, and you're going to get a pillow top version for the price of an entry level non-pillow top version. We've only got the King and the Super King left. There was talk about this being discontinued, but then our buyer says maybe it's not.
I'm not sure what's going to happen,
Okay,
to be honest.
still,
Again, I'm going to say this again, and I know probably
Because
boring.
silk's difficult to get, isn't it?
At the moment, if you're watching news tonight, I was shocked when I was in the green room. I was watching the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrific. The
The
damage has been caused
Ray,
in the last day or
1.9
so.
million people had to leave their homes. 1.9.
An awful lot of trees have been brought down,
Yeah.
and we'll know in the next day or 2 days what's happening. But we are going to be short of silk.
Very quickly, I'm just going to read this.
Top class silk.
Top class silk, yeah. So look, it's Carpe Diem, seize the day. Why wait to do something that's going to benefit you if you can afford it now? And actually, it's not even a question of affording, it's a question of availability, because it may be a while. Well, look, I think we'll be okay for another show in, you know, whatever the schedule, every couple of weeks or so. But we're going to hit a wall.
There's a container on the way at the moment.
But that's not going to be here for a
the
while.
one that follows. That's going to be the
That's
problem.
going to be the problem, yeah. Alan said, hi Alan, how are you? He says, I just wanted to thank you both for my purchases of a double duvet and 2 pillows with pillowcases about 6 weeks ago. I can honestly say that I've had the best night's sleep in years.
Thank you, Alan.
And also, Rob, I took your advice and went to the shop you recommended to buy an Egyptian cotton duvet cover. Ah, perfect. I bought a 300 thread count. I can hand on heart tell the viewers that the duvet is the best bedding ever. Still can't believe how warm you are in about a minute. But never get too warm.
Now, isn't that interesting what Alan's saying there? Something I constantly forget to mention. You've mentioned it frequently, but you've forgotten tonight as well, if you don't mind me saying so.
No, please.
Alan has mentioned it.
Yes.
When you get in bed with this, the heat is...
Very quick, yes.
It doesn't take 10 minutes to warm up.
No.
Instant.
No. And actually, none of that, you know when you...
Alan's quite right.
You know, you sometimes in the winter, you get into a bed and it's freezing.
Yeah.
You don't get that with silk, I've just realised.
No.
Right? Yeah, not that I can remember. Listen, we've got a couple of minutes. Actually, how long have we got left? 3.5 minutes. Can I just say, please check out. We are in. Look, we're not going to be on the air to give you any more updates, but I can tell you we've got 4 of each of the desert sand, 4 of the sage and the pillowcase. In the duvets. Yes, duvets. Single is already gone. The double is now low single figures. How many doubles? There are 5 double duvets left, 7 Super Kings, and only about 26 of the Kings, which may sell out later today. The mattresses, we only have 2 of the Super Kings. And again, I know we haven't really sort of talked long enough about the mattress, but you have got a 60-day sleep trial. You can take the packaging off it, put it on your bed, treat it as your own, put your own covers on it, do whatever you do in your bed.
Can I mention this quickly about the mattress?
You have to be very quick.
Very
yeah.
quick.
And the mattress pad I want to hear about as well.
The mattress pad. Well, I'll just mention this quickly with the mattress. When I was a young boy, I had a slip disc cut on my back. I've had since 23-year-old. I've had 60 years I've had a bad back. I'm 83 now. All I can tell you is this.
Yes.
I sleep in this mattress since I've started sleeping on it. I'm not going to say it's cured my bad back, but it's helped.
Certainly helped.
Tremendously.
Excuse me, it's 8 inches deep, the mattress topper.
Yes.
I do apologise. 30 seconds, Ray, is all I can give you on the mattress topper. If people have already got a mattress they don't want to get rid of.
An extra level of comfort at an affordable price.
Yeah.
And it just gives
Full of silk?
Yeah, 100% pure silk.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's... what can I say?
You don't sweat under it.
No.
Or on it.
Or on it, no. Please do yourselves a favour and check out. If you wait, you'll miss out. It's as simple as that. If you're alive, awake and watching now, then may I suggest that you check out your baskets. We've got about 1.5 minutes before we go off the air. It's one thing I can, with 100% confidence and 100% certainty, say to you that you will be really pleased with. Every single person who's emailed tonight said it's been the best thing that they've ever bought. It's the best night's sleep they've had for years, and that's because if you've slept under a synthetic duvet, you know, what do they call it, hollow fibre, man-made, whatever you want, whatever name you care to use, or if it's feather of any kind, feather, goose, duck, down, wool even. Wool's good, but again, you don't wear wool in the summer, you wear silk, right, to keep cool. I can assure you, if you have slept under any of those, particularly the feather or the synthetic, all your life, you've never had a night's sleep, the quality of which you will have under silk. There isn't a better way that we know of, or I know of currently, to get a better night's sleep, if all of the environmental factors are correct, than with a Mulberry Silk Duvet, pillow, and if you can stretch to it, the mattress as well. Thank you so much. Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Amazing. I've
Thank
loved
you
it.
to all the viewers for orders you placed this morning. It's appreciated.
So listen, I will be off tomorrow night. We've got Sean and Hayley with Simple Law. I'll be back on Friday night and Saturday night, though. From all of us here at Shop on TV, thank you so much for watching, and good night.